Hello, everyone, and welcome out to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode number 30. I'm AJ.
I'm Steve.
Steve, who are we brought to you today by?
I just gave away a Dodge. It was a free Spirit.
Ooh, was it, what's the Spirit cigarettes? Something...
American Spirit.
American Spirit. And with that being said, everybody welcome to our guest, Mr. Matt Kramer.
Hey, guys. Thank you.
Mac, we already just introduced your name, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Mac Kramer. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I drink with these guys consistently. Mm-hmm. So,
like a champion.
Yeah. So, there's not a whole lot to me, but that's the main stuff for sure.
Do not sell yourself short, sir.
Thank you.
Well, we're glad to have you here.
That's going to be difficult. He's tall.
That is true. He's much taller than we are, but also bearded and also lefty.
Indeed.
We're going to cheers the beers, and then Steve's going to tell you all about what we're drinking. It is fucking delicious.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Steve, tell everybody what we're drinking.
Beloved, we are brought to you today by the Heavyweight Champ, 14% ABV by Trophy Brewing Co.
Ooh, you got to make it your wife, so it'll be...
A trophy wife?
Yes. It's a little thicker than... Well, it's not thicker. It's just... It has no definition at the bottom, and I'm a man who likes its definition at the bottom.
No, it just says drink trophy beer, brewed in Raleigh, North Carolina.
But that's right. Oh, wow. Okay.
So...
Road trip?
Road trip.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down. I've visited shockingly little amount of Raleigh breweries.
And anytime you've been there, has been more family and carry, yes?
Yeah, so what about you, Mac?
Go the extra 15 minutes.
Yeah, true. Have you got any experience at the Raleigh breweries proper?
Can't say I have a lot there, more Asheville and surrounding areas, but definitely Charlotte for sure. That's my go-to.
Yeah, it's kind of convenient, isn't
it is. It really is.
We did the beer trip. We went to Nantahala, and we need to do that again. Stat and Mac, you're coming with us. I'm sure you've heard those stories on here, haven't you?
Yeah.
So that's always a blast. Cramming 6 sweaty dudes into a hotel room that was $40 a night. But it's really just a place to lay your head anyway. So we just, oh my God, that was just an obscene amount.
Just a floor to lay your head on.
Well, for 2 people. I had a bed, but I got cuddled by a fucking big hairless baby Huey type character at 2 a.m.
Oof.
But big oof.
It's oof.
Oh.
We need to create a new word. So by the end of this episode, may it be an hour, may it be 3 hours, like every other time we've had a guest, we need to create a new viral word. And it's not going to be soon. It just has to be after several of these beers, because this one's fucking 14%.
Yeah.
So it should...
We're making tracks real early.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we didn't have... All right, so surprise. Mac was going to be guest on episode 31. But Mr. Feely is not feely too well today. He has the flu, I think, because he said he's achy, he's sweaty, he's nauseous, he didn't go to work, he's still in bed. I said, well, all right, buddy. Well, don't bring any of that shit over here, please.
Right.
So please get better. Mr. Feely will probably be on... every time I say Mr. Feely, I think of Mr. Feeney, and then I
was about to say the same. Yeah.
And then I go into
Hello,
that.
Corey.
So instead, Mac did a fucking solid and did a last-minute fill-in. I mean, we would have done it without a guest, but we were hoping you could do it.
Oh,
so.
Yeah. Got the text this morning, and I was stoked. So, yeah. Yeah. After work, I got to go podcast and drink beer. Damn.
I know, right? It's like really just an arduous task.
Right.
Which arduous was the word of the day today. I get a Merriam-Webster word.
That is the word of my day every day.
In time, my dear son.
Stupid 4th shift.
Yeah. Welcome.
Isn't that no? This is the 4th meal. Taco Bell's the 4th meal. Is it the official food of the 4th shift?
Now when they close at 2 a.m. and it's 2:30, and I want tacos. Like, great, chicken nugget that is instead.
You know, Jack in the Box doesn't make a terrible taco.
There was a Jack in the Box near work. It
Emphasis.
closed, so there is now a vacant Jack in the Box on Sunset.
Shell of a Jack in the Box.
And the next nearest one in Harris is also closed.
Jack out of the box.
The both of which are these funky Mario mushroom looking buildings,
right? Like who's going
that
to
are sitting there vacant? Yeah,
nothing else can go in that building because like they have a. I think it's on the corner of Matthews or not Matthews. It's in Mint Hill near Independence. It's right down the road from here, but it's in Old Eckerd.
Yeah.
You clearly cannot put any maybe a Halloween store every year.
I've seen a Dollar General creep in there a few times. The occasional Halloween store is the one at Matthews at 51 and John Rowe.
Also, Old Wendy's.
That's a hard one too.
Yeah, I mean it's got the box format,
Or the particular ones with that sunroom at the bottom, like the split level one.
Yeah.
So where they used to keep the salad bar.
Yeah. Like what?
Because if anything, your salad bar needs extra sunlight after all the produce has been cut.
Yeah, just make sure you throw that in sunlight and let that cook a little bit. And just got to make sure all the bacteria in there's growing as hard as it can.
In downtown Matthews, there's clearly Umami. The Asian joint is clearly
Debbie?
an Old Hardee's.
Ooh.
Emily and I've been there before, and actually, really fucking good. I recommend the Monster Sushi Burger.
Tight.
But it's really fucking good. Like but it's clearly
sounds like
clearly
some
Hardee's.
poison cell.
Oh,
Cowbell.
Cowfish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You were thinking of a prescription that you needed for your fever.
It
used to be the cowbell.
That's why I'm taking the Claritin meth pills again.
I was pretty underwhelmed.
I was always sick enough to be irritated, not like sick. It's just, take this, it fixes it. Discovered they're way cheaper at Costco.
Oh,
$5 for 15 instead of $18 for 20
5.
at Target. Yeah,
It's not bad.
it's
I like the.
and this is why I owe that credit card $3,000. It's like, oh, the savings.
Yeah, no joke.
Aw.
You're walking in there, you're spending $100 at the very least.
I miss the old Taco
Including
Bells
gas.
from the
Yeah.
90s. I want to bring back. I want everybody to. I want them to
$59.79.99.
renovate every Taco Bell and make it the 90s Taco Bell that looks like the Fuck Jerry cup. Every logo has that 90s logo on it. You know what
The
I'm talking about.
squiggles, the turquoise and
I was
purple
dreaming of a
squiggles
different
on
90s,
styrofoam
but that
cups.
was Demolition Man.
Oh,
Demolition Man 2.
Classic
he goes to jail
film.
for not paying taxes. Fuck Jerry. All right, here we go.
Like the most hated comic,
most
or
aesthetic
comic page thing
styrofoam
ever.
cup
That-
logo you've ever seen in your life.
Oh,
Let's call it that.
it's hard to think somebody actually designed that, like the teal and purple squiggles.
Yeah, that was
Why
that was clearly accidental.
Can you
Why
imagine?
haven't the Hornets adopted that?
I don't know.
I mean, I can't even imagine.
I'm
what
looking
the guy
at you,
that
Steve
made that-
Hardigan.
Yeah, I can't imagine what the guy that made that is thinking now, because it's coming in on clothes and all sorts of merch nowadays. It's crazy.
I know exactly what he's thinking. Which yacht am I taking out today?
Money signs. He just sees money signs. It's like Mr. Krabs.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Sponge boy me, Bob. This is going to be a very heavy. So Max, actually, you're pretty eclectic in your musical tastes, also, though. Correct? But which way do you lean to?
Oh man, I'd say starting out, it was a lot of rock and roll of any variety.
But I like it.
It's kind of gone towards the rap side of things. Since,
Interesting. So,
in the last couple
Who are
of
you, my
years.
brother?
Yeah.
are we doing modern hip hop? Are we doing 90s? Are we doing like old school 80s hip hop or
Ooh.
2000s?
I would say right in the middle, like late 90s, early 2000s. I'm not crazy about trap, but at the same time, there's some gold nuggets in there. There's every era has got its couple of songs, but I tend to
I
stay.
think it's the aftermath of drinking Goldschlager.
Oh God,
Yuck.
yuck!
Have you? Well, mixed with Jaeger, it's awesome. It's called
The
a dead
shiny
Nazi.
fireball.
I'll call it dead Nazi.
Just a shiny version of Fireball. Oh,
Why is there a deer on that again? On Jaeger?
The Jägermeister translates to Master Hunter.
Well, you would definitely know that.
why have I had, what was it, a rumor that there was deer blood in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was what it. Yeah, but clearly, I would rather drink deer blood than licorice.
Yeah, I'd drink an entire pint of deer blood over
Absolutely.
that any day of the week.
Deer blood shots would be a great death metal band or a psychobilly band. Either that would be cool too.
Yeah, that's actually more fitting for the latter.
The only reverend I follow is Horton Heat.
I have a picture on mine that says Horton here's a bitch ass liar. So we're thinking, all right. So that was when Jay-Z first really what was it, In My Lifetime and Volume 2.
Prior to, he'd only been medium-sized pimping.
Mm-hmm.
Well, prior to that, he was in the early Supras and not to Jay-Z.
By the way, this heavyweight champ feels great coming out your nose.
Oh, I'll believe. I'll take your word for it.
And I'll emphasize my biggest rap experience. I guess what I tended to grapple onto was more like Kendrick Lamar and Logic and a couple of those rappers that came a little bit after him. But I definitely have respect for all the. I think I'm equal opportunity on East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
So, I like Snoop, I like Tupac, I like Biggie, I like Jay-Z, I like Nas. I guess it's going to be East, if anything, but I'm a big fan of all of that, for sure.
Because I don't think, I think now, especially, I think after Biggie died, I think everybody was like, you know what, let's just all kind of, there's no more beef with coastal rappers.
They squashed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When I think it was on the MTV Awards, Biggie's mom and Tupac's mom came out and did Lifetime Achievements together, and everybody's like, you know what, man, this is fucking stupid. Let's just let it go. So.
It's just too much talent wasted on bullshit,
Yeah.
And nowadays, if rappers getting shot like XXXTentacion or
Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle died this week.
I've never heard anything by him.
I'd never heard of him prior to his death.
It's a great name, though.
Bring in prior life.
That qualifies him to listen to now.
Yeah, the name is it's like a really weird beer and wine name. You're like, what the? Okay, I'll buy it. Fat bastard Chardonnay.
I'm feeling a bit Nipsey Hussle. What's that? I'm about to fall out my chair, but I'm in a rush to get another drink.
And there were follow-up killings after the funeral too.
No shit.
If I'm not mistaken,
okay.
a couple people died.
Things go, and I don't think
got stabbed. One of the two.
Somebody's taking the Kinnison line a little too seriously.
Yeah.
Be the Ripper Killer.
I don't think Hustle was I don't think he was deep in with anybody either. I think this was just somebody put a hit or some stupid shit on it,
personal vendetta of some variety.
Well, the thing too is I don't, and I know this isn't just in hip hop culture or anything. I think I was talking about this with Thomas. I'm like, you can't fucking take anything personally because somebody who says something or you bump into somebody at the airport and they're a dick to you or something. 5 seconds later, they've forgotten you. If you let it go, man, it sucks. But if you're like, man, is this worth holding this much hate inside to stew over? And it's not, man. It's just absolutely fucking not.
And we're seeing this trend. And I mean, of course, I don't have as much insight as a lot of other people would on it. But from what I can see, it seems like personal vendettas left over from their lives before they got started as entertainers, and that sucks even worse because you think, I got out of all this bullshit, I've got a career, I'm making money, I'm doing everything I want to do, and then bam, someone shoots you dead, and that's busted. You go all this way just to get knocked down that way.
How old was he?
33.
I'm 29.
Really puts a suck in success.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah, my age, and just killed that and just. Well, I came back from a funeral today, so cheers to Mom.
No
94
kid.
years old, feisty-ass old lady, and just a sweetheart of a woman, so cheers to her.
Johnny Walker's not going to drink itself.
Yep, first time I met her, she took my hat off and wore my hat, and everybody knows I wear my hat, and then she ordered a Johnny Walker black, and I was like, you don't want the blue? She's like, sweetheart, I ain't got that kind of money.
That's a sharp lady.
Very sharp, man.
Yeah.
It was a celebration of life, and it sucked, and I fought back the tears, but man, it was... You hate to kind of take a good with the bad, but I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? This is it's all finite, and since I don't believe in anything after, I want to enjoy as much as I can while I'm still here and leave whatever imprint I have while I'm still here. So I'm gonna really be taking a hard look at things this year and maybe making. I don't know, some changes for 2020, or we're gonna push this real hard. I'm gonna push music real hard because I want to do something I get up and enjoy every day. That I like what I do, but I don't want to do what I'm doing the rest of my life. And I know Steve is like way in my camp on that, and I'm pretty sure you are too.
Yeah, no joke. Man.
So
so how's the new job of yours?
We'll just have to wait your turn. Like you have to wait. We'll just wait our turn patiently, and we're gonna take the. Man, I'm gonna get choked up of trying to think about it. But wait your turn, and then just when the time is right, man, fucking go for it. And, and just get it right, get it done. So, how is that new job going?
Man, speaking of which, I have a very strange job history. My last couple of jobs haven't been the best fit, as it were, but I've landed in the perfect role. I'm working at a place called iSolved HCM, which, for those that aren't familiar with the industry, it's human capital management, payroll, benefits, time clocks, everything in between that. They're doing a whole bunch of other stuff over there. It's a really interesting setup. But first day I walked in, I sat down at my desk. I'm like, this is what I've wanted from it since I've started working. So, I started my career at 16 working in an AMC theater, and I've moved all the way. I'm 29 now. It's taken that long. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. Having to wait that long for the place that you're looking for is tough, and it's all paying off. So yeah, I'm a couple days in, but I'm sure that if we talk about this a few months from now, a year from now, 2 years, I'm gonna be stoked about it. It's
That's
awesome.
Good. Are you hiring?
Yeah, yeah. So check us out.
Mr. Esteban needs a job.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
All right, cool.
That's more off air.
Gotcha. I got you.
And 2 days ago,
if anyone's offering, hit him up.
Yeah, absolutely. So while we're doing history of things, this will be a tradition around here at CBGPod. So we're going to go through your car history.
Oh boy!
So you get to tell it from start to finish. Now it is only cars that maybe not necessarily have been titled to you, because we know that when you're 16, that's tricky. But cars that were exclusively driven by you and were yours for more than a day or so. Because
totally.
I drove, when I sold my TSX, I drove my sister's Volvo wagon around for a long time, and the only CD I listened to was Toxicity by Sister. And it was funny, like having the windows down and just rolling in somewhere.
So great.
Why do they? So I didn't count that as a car I had, because it wasn't titled to me, and two, that I was when Emily and I got married, she didn't have a job and I didn't have a car.
Oof.
She got fired a
big oof.
She got fired 5 days before our wedding from her other job.
Oh.
And while we were in Puerto Rico, she got the call and says like, "Oh, you got a new job placement." The same people who placed her in this job, they were like, "They fired you." So she's like, "All right, let me make a phone call. I'll call you right back." She called right back. "You start this day when you come back." Ethel Harris, temp agency, was great. So
shout out.
She still has that job now. So
cool.
So, I sold my TSX in April, and we got married in May. So, yeah, I didn't have a car. She didn't have a job. It's like, this is going to be starting out the perfect fucking marriage. So
all worked out. So that's...
It did, actually. Yeah, it kind of did.
Yeah.
So, let's go through your car history. So, how many cars have you owned total?
So, 1, 2, 5.
Nice.
It's been 5 cars.
Okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't 4, because you'd be our 4th guest.
Yeah.
4th guest, all left-handed.
Oh, yeah.
And
running
and
4
cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep that trend going. Got to break it somewhere.
Yeah, so in the interest of consistency, let's start at the beginning.
Okay. So 16, I was working that AMC job. I had to get there somehow. So my family had a 2001 V8 Ford Explorer Eddie Bauer edition.
Oh,
so
was that the tan leather?
Yeah. The forest green exterior with the tan trim. Pretty sharp car.
The Mercury Mountaineer by a different name.
They
only came in that color if it was Eddie Bauer, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they did.
Two-tone green tan.
Yeah. Around. It's that's the thing. Those cars are still running. I'll see them every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a back and forth. The thing got like 10 to 14 miles a gallon. As I was driving the hell.
I was gonna say it had something to do with your right foot.
Yeah, sure did. But my most vivid memory of that car, I mean, beyond just driving it to work and stuff like that, and and stamping on the gas pedal to hear the V8. It was driving up to a mall one day with one of my buddies. It was raining. We're going around a turn. It's like a 35 mile per hour zone. I was going around that and still managed to hydroplane spin the back wheels. We jumped a ditch in the thing. But to give you an idea of this car's integrity, there was nothing wrong with it afterwards. Mind you, my dad found out about a week later because there was a clump of mud and grass. So shout out Dad. But yeah, he saw that a week later. The thing was a tank. So my dad owned a rental house at the time, traded it to the family that was living there for some work they did, of which that was kind of cool.
Was it 2 or 4-wheel drive?
2-wheel, so rear wheel.
Okay, I thought
dirt clump and all.
I could have sworn they were. I could have sworn Eddie Bauer. Well, I don't know. Eddie Bauer is a leather man.
No, clothing.
And outdoors.
There's a clothing store. There's at like Concord Mills.
No wonder it's 2-wheel drive. Okay,
yeah.
So if it were, well,
it looks apart. I'm sure you can get a 4
luxury cruiser, not a So if it were like,
I mean, it's definitely outdoorsy, like
it was
LLB Junior.
If it was a Bass Pro Shop Explorer, it would be 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, then it has mandatory gun rack.
Right.
You know you're redneck when your gun rack has a gun rack on it.
So like. Eddie Bauer had Ford. LL Bean had Subaru Outbacks for a while.
Right.
There had been the Nautica Edition Mercury Villager.
That didn't go swimmingly well, did it?
No, I can't imagine.
I don't know if that was Farrah's first car.
Oh,
like blue with a white lower stripe.
To have some bright yellow somewhere, because Nautica seems to be crazy about that shit, but I don't.
It'll probably a little yellow sailboats embroidered in leather. Yeah.
So Bauer's gone.
Yes, definitely. And then replaced by a 2001 Volkswagen Jetta VR6. So 6-cylinder.
That was awesome when it ran, right?
Awesome when it ran, but that is the key phrase.
I had a 98 GTI with the same engine, which was fantastic, but expensive and extensive to keep running. So I kept it 5 months.
I figured you should have had your license plate say Dora on your first car.
That would have been tight. I think was that, but I'm not even sure if that was before the show.
We're doing this retroactively.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But in hindsight, absolutely.
And the Volkswagen could have worn VR666.
Yes.
Oh yeah, totally.
The engine of the beast.
It was. It was the devil, but
8 liter.
Yes,
I believe so. Yeah,
that
silver.
Silver,
gray interior.
So it blended into every
silver
other Jetta
gray
of that
interior.
vintage.
Yeah,
that's tragic.
Yeah, it was nicer than it sounded.
Okay.
It was leather as well, and it had the heated seats and it had a decent sound system. Whoever owned it beforehand put like a custom radio deck in the front end, and it was not bad. Mind you, what Steve said, it was always breaking down. I mean, I had everything from serpentine tensioners to, I tried to roll start it at one point, but just to backtrack a little bit, the transmission went bad on me on pretty much the busiest road, Harris Boulevard. I was driving down to work one day. It was raining. Transmission died. It just ground to a halt. I'm in traffic in one of the worst parts of the city for that, and ended up getting it manual swap. Shout out Eurowise, because they did all that work, and everything after that, they were like, yeah, man, either you can put an automatic transmission used for $3,000 or you can manual swap it for that. And I was like, that sounds kind of fun. So short shift manual swapped it. Didn't even have like the cover on the knob or the what is it? What are those things called?
Shift boot.
Yeah, shift boot.
Max is just a straight up gangster. He shifts with the fucking thread pattern.
Just slamming through gears. But
I'm still trying to figure out how to make a gate for mine.
Oh boy,
we got a Dremel here. Yeah, we can do it. It's not gonna be straight.
Make it out of wood.
Classic.
Yeah. Rich mahogany. But no, that car was a lot of fun. But the problem was 21st birthday, had not been drinking. It was the morning of my 21st birthday. I was driving home on Independence Boulevard, which is another really busy side of town. It was raining again. Hydroplaned, spun all the way around, crashed in front of Bojangles Coliseum, and essentially there's a almost a foot-high sidewalk curb. I jumped it. Like, I spun all the way around to where my back left wheel hit that first. Just think about that for a second. I spun to the right all the way around. I'm just watching all the cars behind me as I'm spinning around. And my wheel was at a at a 45-degree angle, I believe, just cocked out, completely destroyed. The thing was totaled, but really enjoyed that car. And then afterwards, I got into Hondas.
Mac, the rain jumper.
Yeah. Oh, God.
That's 2 cars.
Yeah.
Stay out of the rain.
Exactly.
So you had a Volkswagen that brought you to Hondas. I had the Volkswagen that brought me to Toyotas.
Yeah. Once you pay those German mechanic prices, you're going to switch to Jap.
Thanks for coming to the dark side.
That's just kind of how that works. But I also had somebody pick me up from that wreck who had bald tires, so I was having PTSD flashbacks in the front seat as he's driving me
I know
back.
my car, bro.
Oh God, yeah, no joke. But yeah, so I went over and I say Honda. I went to Acura.
Same thing.
And
there is
exactly
no such thing.
Nice Honda is essentially what that is.
It's Lexus Toyota,
right?
And Infiniti Nissan.
Yep, and Honda Acura. So saw this car on Craigslist. It was an 01 Acura TL, and I've reached out to a guy about it. Realized that this was a guy I'd actually worked with in the past. So I show up at his place. I was like, holy shit. Hey, what's up? Shout out Tony Chu. But I paid $3,000 for it. It had like 200,000 miles on it at the time. Yeah. But those were highway miles too. And his dad was the owner and taking immaculate care of it. It was great for that. Drove that like crazy. Actually got to 153 miles per hour in that car at one point.
3.2 V6.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I won't say where, but that did happen. And
a track, allegedly.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll call it
Statute of limitations is done, man.
Yeah, no joke.
Way away.
But that was a great car. Leather, bows, all that great stuff. And ended up rear-ending some people that decided to stop in the middle of Albemarle Road at one point, which another busy road, but there was also construction. The signs were hidden behind a bunch of bushes.
It was raining.
It wasn't raining. Oh. It was actually clear that day, surprisingly. But, it ended up wrecking that. And seeing as I bought it for $3,000, it totaled out pretty easily. So I decided, Acuras have treated me very well. I went for an 04 Acura TL, which I have always loved the back end of that car. I've told you guys repeatedly, it is the best rear end I've ever seen on a car. In sedans, let's call it that. But it got a black one. Loved it. It was the best. Didn't have a working navigation system, which I'm not worried about. It was 2004.
You got a cell phone?
Yeah, exactly.
Problem solved.
That technology looks like this technology now.
Yes.
Was that the
good old Power Glove
DVD-based one?
Yes, it was. So it had a DVD player.
It seems after a while, either the disc stops working or the player stops working, and it's this proprietary thing that's unobtainium to replace.
And not only that,
it just doesn't matter. It sure as I have it right there in the dash.
It was $180 to get that disc.
And
it didn't even have to. It wasn't even updated. I mean, I bought this thing in what? 08? No. God, 2012, 2013. I'm way off on my time frames here, but
that's all right.
These were maps for the early 2000s. I was just like,
that'd be really amusing to see what Charlotte looked like on that map.
Something like that.
Yeah. Just be driving into blank country.
Somewhere in my collection of old CD-ROMs, I have a 1996 Oldsmobile sponsored map program that was just for PC, but you could use it to map stuff out. But it was very difficult to try to plot out point A to point B because it wouldn't tell you point A to point B.
Nope.
It only show you where on the map they were. You have to connect the dots yourself.
So you're saying this map had more railroads on it than roads?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's accurate.
No, you're Acura.
Yeah, no joke, dude. I really enjoyed those cars. I'm probably going to go back realistically, but that car met its end when I noticed that the front axle was really warped. And, whenever you hit the accelerator, you get that vibration and you're just like shaking along the road. And I just got sick of it. So I looked into a good old Honda Accord 2011, pulled the Acura into the lot on a spare with the axle failing. Not only that, this Acura, I just have to backtrack for a second. I was driving home from South Carolina to Charlotte, which it was about an hour drive from where I
How
was
much
coming.
South Carolina?
A tiny bit,
It's like
just a sliver.
It's like beyond Fort Rock Hill Mill.
Not as far as I'll be tomorrow.
Exactly, Fort Mill. So, yeah, not much South Carolina. And my transmission had started failing. And when I say started, I put it in Tiptronic as soon as I realized there was an issue. Like, I was in drive, and it wasn't going past 55. So I was having some struggles. So as I'm going home, I put it into fourth. I'm riding down. As soon as that stops being effective, it starts getting a little tough to even maintain speed on that gear. I put it into third. I start getting closer to my house and getting to, city streets, not really highways anymore. Second, into my neighborhood. First, as I get into the spot. And the next morning, I kid you not, they weren't able to get it out of gear. I put it in park and it stayed in park. So they had to get like the, what is that little slot on the side?
Shift lock release.
Yeah, shift lock
stick your key
release,
in it
exactly.
to plunk it in.
Yep. So they had to do that, and they towed it right out of the spot. It wasn't going anywhere. Wow. So the thing, I got to give it credit because that transmission got me home, even though it was dying and catastrophically failing. But after that, I got that transmission replaced. Then after a while, the axle started going crazy. The car was just getting old, and I looked at a 2011 Honda Accord, grabbed that. It's a 4-cylinder. Not crazy about that. You stamp on the gas, it'll do something, but not much. But, it gets decent
Stick with
mileage.
the VTAX, man.
Yeah.
You like it at the pump, though.
Right.
Yes.
Sure do. Not too bad.
Big fan of cheap to operate.
Yes, absolutely. And, you could do the work yourself. It is one of those cars. I don't think that the model for a fully self-maintaining, that's going to be the word that I throw it in there, car is available yet, but it's close. If you're willing to get a little bit dirty, you can get whatever you need. So driving that right now, not a bad ride. I might look for something later, but for right now, it's going to be fun.
Shitty part of those Accords, because my wife has
11 as well.
Yeah, she does.
I saw the recall notice that
Yeah,
I've gotten 50 of those airbag recall notices, but still haven't done it. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Dang.
Fortunately for me, S2000 doesn't have the recall notice.
Apparently, there's now a recall to the recall. So people that have gotten that recall done, apparently the replacement parts have been defective. So please bring your car back to get new replacement in.
What car is this?
About every other car under the sun in the last 15 years that requires the airbag replacement. So yours may be affected.
Oh, I'm sure.
My Pagnotta's been affected. Her Accord's been affected.
I'm good. But mine was built
no
in
airbags,
Japan.
we die like men.
Mine was built in Japan, though. It was not built over
in
here
the
like
States.
all the Accords are.
Right.
Which is called the Honda Inspire in Japan. Because the Accord is really the TSX over there.
Yes. Notice that. And also in the Caribbean as well. Saw somebody pull up in
anywhere else in the world.
It was an Accord. I'm like, yeah,
Yep.
that's sharp.
One of my sister's friends had a TSX and drove it to a quarter mil, and I rode in it sometime before he got rid of it. That car still felt solid.
Oh, yeah.
They had that in an older 4Runner, wound up trading both cars on a new 4Runner.
I drove mine for free. Had 33,000 miles on it when I bought it. I paid $18,300 for an 08 TSX in 2010. 6-speed, white.
Yeah.
I sold it for $16,000, and it had 80,000 miles almost on the dot when I sold it.
Yeah.
So I made almost $3,000 on it, and that's when I bought the S2000, which I've had to put $5,000 down on because they wouldn't loan but so much money on it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, they're not letting those things go for easy nowadays. It's a classic. It's an instant classic, quote unquote, just because it's not super.
He's got the museum piece. I just want to find a beater S2000 to actually drive the damn thing.
Yeah.
So Mac, you need to finish that one because I've already cracked open this. Steve, read about it.
All right, what the funky? Oh, good, silver on black. This is good.
Raiders.
Off mic, AJ had an interesting pronunciation of it that we kind of mistook.
Yeah, well, we did.
I'll let you guess, but go for it.
What the fucky Buddha?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Maple bacon coffee porter. Part of the Little Buddha small batch series. Bacon is back in black.
Hit the sack. Been too long. Glad to be back.
Got 2 copies out on vinyl. Brewed with big, bold breakfast flavors in mind, Maple Bacon Coffee Porter emerges with unforgettable aromas of rich maple and freshly roasted coffee. On the palate, luscious layers of sticky syrup ale are followed by waves of creamy espresso and the subtle smoky saltiness of bacon. Right with the champs, you be the judge.
Well, damn.
And Steve didn't do his fancy voice because he can barely read the fucking bottle.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the squinting, staring.
Don't talk about Emily like that. She's not a squint.
Hey, my Emily's like that too,
Natural ingredients consume fresh.
Perfect.
That's unnatural. Like, I want unnatural ingredients. I'm on an all processed food, high gluten diet. We're
Yes.
already poured, so we'll wait for
thank
Mac
you.
to pour.
Appreciate that.
So Mac went American, German, Jap.
Yep.
Whereas Steve and I jumped around a little bit more.
I gotta
Swedish,
tell y'all,
German, Japanese,
it might just come
American-ish.
back to American
They're
the strangest way.
American cars
Focus
are
ST. Focus ST.
No.
Fiesta ST.
Tesla.
What are you made of money?
Yeah. No, not yet. Trying to be.
Not yet.
But
No, what you do is take Tesla motor and put it in non-Tesla car. You need to build a Teslanda. Have you heard of that one? An 81 Accord with a Tesla drivetrain.
the shit out of
Somebody's
that.
done it in an S2000 already.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure in the next couple of years, once those engines and drivetrains, that whole system becomes a little cheaper. They're without any kind of autopilot right now. They're about 30,000 real base. That's before you get any options.
But really, that's all you need, though.
True.
Like, for a A to B, like get you a weekend warrior to have fun in that's
Right.
gas powered, and then do an electric car.
But
during
if
the
you're
week.
buying a Tesla, are you not buying it for the auto drive, the
I'm not.
autopilot?
I'm not.
So you're just
For
driving.
what it's worth, I could
driving
use that
stomp on
autopilot
shit.
for that return trip working third.
Yeah.
I've got to have like some sort of beverage on hand, otherwise I feel like I'm falling asleep at the wheel.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see
That is a very real threat now.
Jesus, take the
I'm
wheel.
literally too old for this shit.
I mean, the area that I'm coming from every day, going there and coming back, considering the time of day, I hit massive traffic. I'm going on the inner loop to hit Valentine in the mornings, and I'm going on the outer loop to go home in the evenings. And for some reason, if you're looking at Charlotte on a map, the bottom right corner has the worst issue with traffic on the inner loop in the mornings and on the outer loop in the evenings. And it's terrible. What should be a 30-minute drive is an hour. So
Emily takes 51 there and back. It's more stoplights, but at least there's stop and go instead of mostly stop.
oh God, no kidding.
Sometimes she'll take the interstate there because for some, like, morning traffic's not as bad for her. She leaves here at 7:30. She usually gets to the office around 8:05
Yeah.
or 8:10.
Well, that's not bad at all.
So, but getting home, she'll take 51. So she leaves at 5. She'll usually stroll in about 5:45 or so. So it might be, but you live a little bit further up too. So, that
I'd be what I'm it's from here.
if that,
So
yeah, if that.
yeah,
You too.
yeah, exactly.
Depends on how I hit those stoplights. Damn you 218.
We never cheers for this, but it's fine.
Oh, we're doing it. We're definitely doing it. That's really good. Oh,
It's a low grav too, but it drinks like a higher grav to me.
No kidding.
it does.
It's 6.5, 6.4%.
Okay.
That first one was great.
Yep.
But that you could definitely
That's going to be loud enough to knock you down.
you could run off of that, but you run a car off of it even. But this is definitely more taste for you.
Yeah, this one's, you can get Crunktober on this, like, and I plan on doing that later because
Did you guys have the French toast cereal I'm trying to
Or
remember
Cinnamon
the name
Toast
of it.
Crunch
Yeah, French
cereal.
Toast
No,
Crunch?
no,
Or-
not Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm talking about French toast.
No.
Yeah.
It tastes exactly
Or
like that.
none.
What?
Yeah,
GTFO.
I taste syrup.
Ooh.
Bacon is good, but I taste syrup at it.
Cinnamon
Like
Toast Crunch now.
maple syrup.
Well, Cinnamon Toast Crunch now has Cinnamon Toast Churros.
Ooh, shit.
And I haven't tried it yet.
Game over.
I've had so much shit going on in my life this week. I haven't had a chance to buy a box of it.
Normally I make a joke about catching diabetes, but insulin's really expensive now.
Yes, it is.
Triabetes, though.
Don't play that.
I mean, we're going full quadribetes.
Pentabetes.
666 number of the beaties.
Hexabetes.
The number of the beaties.
Heptabetes. Octabetes.
Number.
Noctabetes.
Oh my
Decabetes.
Oh man.
I love this.
Yeah.
But so keeping like the top car that Steve brought all the swag for the Matchbox cars and such. But on top, there's a custom 01 Integra GSR that's fully Fast and Furious out.
God, that's gorgeous.
One of the most fun cars I've ever ridden in was a 92 Integra LS with B18C swap with 150 shot of nitrous. Rest in peace, Mr. Jonathan Beatty. He passed away. He was the one that owned it.
We'll clink to that too. Actually.
Yeah, I think I told that story.
To the fallen.
He was working for Theisenkrupp Elevator,
Okay.
and some moron dropped a power tool 12 stories up while he was building the Duke Power Building, and it hit him right on the head with a hard hat on. But if you get hit with a
12
60-pound saw, yeah. But, so he
Terminal
didn't hurt, but he was a really good guy. He used to race his. He had a ZX9 Kawasaki bike. He would take the strip and he would murder Hayabusa. He just could fucking drive. Like, he was just a great driver. That Integra was really sweet too. So, but no, that was a great car. That was a quick fucking car too, man. Yeah. I just screamed. That was a fun car though. He didn't have it riced out either. It wasn't decaled up. It was white. It was lowered. He had the I think he just had the regular ITR wing on it and just the regular like Type R wheels, and it was just kind of lowered a little bit. You'd never guess in a million years he's spraying a 150 shot on
Oh
him.
my god!
I'm glad I don't see
can't
any more
even Imagine.
body kits. Just
Good.
Badly.
Really?
Like, it's
That's true.
like,
I don't see him.
except for like
some
Cars and Coffee is like somebody's got some abortion from 15 years ago, but like newer cars are not experiencing these giant ill-fitting pieces of plastic that may or may not be painted.
Thank God.
Where you been looking?
I don't think. New cars are so overstyled. A lot of them are just there's
so
so
they had to
much
get a
going
body
on.
kit just to subdue it a bit.
I got a body
It's like,
kit
I
that
love
makes
that-
it look plainer.
Yeah, it's like I love that new that new Corolla hatchback. That seems like a completely okay car.
Kind of.
That fucking Angry Fish grill though.
I do like the
It's
brand
less
new Camrys.
bad.
Brand new Camry with the black top and like the body, like the regular. I
Even that
actually
Predator front end.
I'll allow it.
Woof.
You know what's getting me lately, and this is I actually saw one yesterday from down in my office. I saw one parking, and I was just like, wow, that's a Kia.
Stinger.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I actually
Yes,
saw
the
two
Stinger.
red ones at Costco the other day.
I like a moonroof, but they're like doing a retractable moon. If I'm not mistaken, if I've got that wrong, sue me,
like an
but-
all glass roof that half of it opens.
Yeah, at least, yes. So close enough to just a sunroof, but it's the whole ceiling is glass. So it's just really nice looking. That's a sharp looking car.
It's a good looking car.
Man.
The K900 is a step so the Stinger is like the performance model, I think, and then the K900 is supposed to be like the luxury model.
It is the Genesis. It's not a Genesis.
God, because
Genesis
their
is
own Kia
monstrous.
Hyundai is one entity. Okay.
Mm.
There is a concept car where Hyundai is making a convertible rear wheel drive lightweight kind of S2000 successor thing.
The Veloster in Roadster. And
Kind of, yes.
don't hate it.
I don't hate it either, but
Yeah.
I don't love it.
Yeah, the Veloster, I'm kind of mixed feelings on. I used to love them, and then as my tastes have changed, I'm just like, man,
I'm
that
curious
looks
though.
like
Are they going to keep the third
Bombmobile.
door?
The new Veloster. Have you seen the brand new 2019? Is
I'm not
very
sure.
pretty.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
You're about to.
Good. Good.
Veloster N is their like Type S model or whatever. It's
for
N.
Nürburgring.
What are y'all's thoughts on the new Civic?
The
The
faster
Type
go-
R.
The
Yeah.
faster
I
they
don't
get,
like it.
the uglier they are.
Ooh,
This
savage.
that's the new Veloster. That's
Yeah.
that honestly looks like a modern day CRX.
Yeah, and I think my problem with the initial models were that they were a little bit bubbly. I think that the main issue with all car manufacturers right now is that they are making something that is more aerodynamic to meet, gas standards, mileage standards, whatnot. But they look like bubbles, ugly bubbles. And like any SUV you look at, it's a giant goddamn bubble. And it's just like, yo, I don't want to look at this thing on the road, let alone drive it.
Oh
But
my goodness! Somebody on opposite. I think it was Opposite Talk, which Steve and I are.
The silhouettes.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right. So
I'm trying to find that picture now.
all right. Let's see who gets it first. So on Opposite Talk, which you need to be a member of, that and Malaise Motors and Radwood. There's all the old car. Somebody posted like the Drake meme, the this and then the that.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a picture of a brand new Ferrari, and he was like, "No, I don't want to
Don't
see
want
that."
that.
And then the other one was like pristine '83 Corolla wagon,
Yeah.
with like 10th, and there was like.
oh yeah,
It's
Get that
cooler to
initial
see
G
shit-
joint.
It's cooler to see shit like that. Like that's why I'm still kind of casually looking at first gen Vipers because those are it's so ostentatious and ridiculous.
You know,
You gotta-
man, that is a car that's always going to be a head turner.
Oh, it is. There's so much road presence in that.
You.
That's every manufacturer's. It's exactly the same car, man.
Oh no,
Oh yes, Mac.
it's accurate. Though.
Oh, yes.
and that's the problem. I think that there really isn't a lot of character in between all those. Yeah, they have their subtle differences. They're all going to have different grills, but the body shape is relatively the same. And again, aerodynamics, fuel standards.
Like,
I mean,
April,
shit.
her
get
Aunt
it.
B dropped us off and picked us up from the airport. And by the way, anything you've ever heard about female Asian drivers is true, especially if they're a little older. I digress. 40 miles per hour and a 60.
There you go.
Blinker on.
Hauling ass. You know?
Not even hauling a donkey.
Not
No.
even. No.
Not even a picture. But she has a brand new BMW SUV because they're made of money. Because they traded in her pretty much brand new Mercedes SUV because they're made of money. That had like the really uncomfortable back seats. Now, I'll be honest. If I'm going to spend $60,000 on an SUV,
Screw the back seats.
I don't care how the ambient lighting and the entire glass roof looks. If where I'm sitting is uncomfortable, that's absolutely unacceptable.
Truth.
To me, like that's where you're coming in contact. Like that's like spending the cheapest amount of money on tires. That's the only part of your car that touches the road.
Right. True.
It stands to reason you shouldn't cheap out on tires unless you absolutely have to, which I did for a long time.
That has happened.
Absolutely.
I could
I had-
definitely attest to that.
I had used tires on the Jeep. My second set of tires.
I'm wearing
on the
them
Jeep.
now.
no.
My second set were 4 different makes of used tires, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend the
Which ones were brands you'd never heard of?
3. And one was BF Goodrich, and it was a bad rich because it had half tread. I digress. So I finally went, I'm going to spend the $800 and get Michelin's on that because I got them on the S2000. I love them. I was like, as soon as I put them on the Jeep rides, I was like, I'm a Michelin man. I'll just save up when I need tires. I'll just spend the money, and then I'll eat the
You're not
difference.
fat enough.
Oh,
You're not Bibendum.
I don't know what that is, but
The Michelin Blimp Man,
is that his name?
something like that.
Oh,
I didn't know he had a
The
name.
He has a name? What? This
My
is
Michelin
news to me.
man has a first name. It's unpronounceable.
Pretty much.
It's vibranium.
Michelin man name. I always I have to keep this together over here and write down shit. So I have episode descriptions of this ridiculous shit that we've been doing. So by the way, guys, before Mac and Steve came over, Mac was like, I can't find the podcast anywhere. I was like, well, that's
Bibendum.
weird. What? How's it spelled?
Bibendum.
Who the
B-I-B-E.
fuck thought about that?
Some Frenchman in 1894.
Bibendum. That's ridiculous.
Bibendum. Jesus. What the fuck?
So I was like, I wonder why I can't find it. So I was looking for it, and I couldn't find it either. And I'm like, wait a second. So on our libsyn page, you have to set it doesn't just send shit to somewhere. You have to set up where it sends it to. So it should be available on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. That is fucking terrifying.
If you could imagine a yellowing, thin striped Michelin Man, that's what we just saw.
It's fucking horrible.
You should Google it because it's terrifying. And
Bibendum.
Give children nightmares. But
yeah, and tires.
Speaking of which, I've been listening to Stephen King's It on Audible.
How is that on Audible?
That will fuck you up.
Oh, who's reading it?
I can't remember.
I feel like Anthony Hopkins should be reading it. That would just be
Jeremy Irons.
Oh,
the late Alan Rickman.
yeah.
There was a clown in the sewer. He ate children.
Oh man, I want to talk about messed up and the whole thing. But yeah, fears of children, whatever. But yeah, caveat. Yeah, you should Google that. It's gonna ruin your life a little bit.
I mean, why end it now?
Yeah,
Might as well keep it going.
right.
So, what other silly mascots actually have names?
A lot of
Steve.
them.
Ronald McDonald.
That's
Yeah, oh, you mean obvious ones?
no, I didn't
Not
mean
obvious ones.
non-obvious ones.
Oh God,
Well, the Twitter mascot, the Twitter bird, has a name.
what?
Do what now?
Oh yeah, Let's
Never
see.
heard of it.
Twitter bird name.
The Ruiner.
Facebook icon. The Facebook logo's name is the Unemployer.
Larry.
What?
Larry Bird.
Yes, the name of it's Larry.
I'm upset.
You-
Change that Twitter right now.
Can we make that trend? Larry Bird. Steve has a look of complete
Right
dismay.
on the head. Yeah.
It's disgust. Thank you.
Yeah. Contemplation at disgust.
And murder. Have you seen the picture of the coffee?
That's not a crow. Thank you very much. Little in a
attempted
group of
murder.
crows.
One crow is attempted murder. The coffee that's black is like, it's time for my morning coffee, and it says, "Let's commit murder." He goes, "Oh, too dark." Pour some creamer in. It says, "Let's contemplate murder." Perfect.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Would you describe yourself as a Honda fanboy?
Ooh. I would say more of a Japanese fan. I can't say it's Honda specific because I am a fan from afar of everything else because I have a buddy, shout out Terrence. He's got a couple of Mazdas, Terrence and Mike, because they're both Mazda fanatics. They got me into the whole understanding of Japanese cars and you know their merits, but I'm trying to think.
Which Mazdas? The ones with the right engines or the wrong ones?
Rotaries for sure.
The wrong ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
How am I? Okay, so they've both had Miatas, but what is the other? RX-8. There we go.
Oh God, that was a horrible.
You
engine.
know, man, sitting in the cockpit of one of those is like flying a jet. And even though it has the most fucked up door scheme on a car I've ever seen in my life, and me being 6'4", trying to fit into that, let alone a Miata. I won't even try with the Miata, but
They had the back suicide doors on it, right?
Yeah, sure did.
Which
And,
totally works on a Tacoma.
exactly.
And any 90s
large
Ford Ranger.
vehicle, yeah.
But here's a sports car. Like, yeah, let's give you quarter doors in the back.
Rolls
Like,
Royce makes sense of it, but not a Mazda. No.
The Rolls Royce I found terrifying. It's like, wait, it's got this massive engine and it's still slow? What
Yeah.
the fuck?
You know what? When I
Yeah.
make the Volkswagen, I'm going to do the opposite. Instead of the passenger side doing this, I'm going to have them do that. I'm going to have it suicide in the front and
No.
regular in
Just
the back.
Bang the doors together so you can.
Yes.
You could just simulate the grocery store parking lot whenever you open the doors.
Absolutely.
You know?
Dent
Call
your
it
own
scissor
car.
doors.
Yeah.
I like watching that kind of gentleman's literature.
Oh,
I just watched the
man.
movie.
How is it?
Yeah.
Is that what Edward
Better-
Scissorhands is about?
Better than the book.
Oh, Tribba, please.
Oh man. Oh my god. But
Oh,
beyond that, also a fan of Nissans too. The funny thing is, I didn't get a chance to drive a manual car in earnest until I was into my 20s. But my buddy, shout
still
out
at-
Spencer Sumsky.
He's still in his 20s.
Yeah.
Youngster.
Yeah. Oh, let's
That's the cord got a
clarify.
stick. If not, get rid of it. Get a stick cord.
I gotta make use of that while I still have it because I'm 29 now, so it's the last year.
When is number 30?
March 6th of next year. So
Oh, you got plenty of time.
yeah, got
man.
plenty of time, dude.
Yeah.
It just came up. So had a buddy, Spencer Sumsky. He had a 300ZX, and he let me drive that sucker and learn manual on it. Which I mean, for that car, like to learn manual, I was not fucking anything up. I was trying to do my very best just to make sure I didn't mess anything up.
How
And
was
I
the
didn't.
clutch on that?
It was tough. It was a heavy clutch, but
Really?
it was. I mean, it was really cool.
Well, the S2K's
Sick.
clutch. The S2K's clutch is super, pretty light. The
Yeah.
the one Starry on was, it was pretty light too. So I'm kind of surprised. Now the Dodge
gotta
Trucks
gun
was
this.
like, you had to really mean it when you pushed it in. So
Right. It was right in between that.
okay.
So it wasn't like, oh my gosh, take your foot off. Later on, he had a 350Z, and that thing you had to push like everything meant it. You know, and, like you had to put a steel toed boot to that.
It's
thing to
still
get it
the
to shit.
clutch spring out of a Mustang.
Yeah,
Collins?
pretty much. Yeah. God, but I've really enjoyed Japanese cars as a whole. I haven't had a lot of experience. I tell people that I drive slow cars fast. I haven't been able to drive enough fast cars
More fun.
slow. It is more fun. There's more on the line. You know, literally and figuratively, you're
That's why-
redlining the shit.
That's why I'm glad I got the coil fix in mine, so it doesn't feel like it's going to barf the engine out anymore.
Right.
Even
Hey, turning a quarter mil was the worst thing to happen in that car. It's better now.
even in the S2K at the top of third gear, you're doing 75, and then at the top of fourth gear, you're knocking out high 90s. So like I think. Well, you know what? I don't want to be fucking proven wrong.
But
so
there's two
You're
more.
gonna get that comment.
I don't want to get that comment, but I'll say like even in the
actually,
and even the S2K is not what is considered a modern fast car. It's a lot of fun and it's quick enough, and it's an engaging car. Like
Right.
the Type R Civic is faster, but is it a better car to drive? And it's not. It's faster, but there's so many. As far as driver enjoyment, if you're going lap times, you go Civic Type R. It's set up for that. If you go, I'm going to have a fucking blast today at the track. S2K. So let's see. S2000 gear.
had a buddy that had an SI. It was a 2001. Hated that style of Civic. I tell you, it looked like a D.
Oh, the
It looked like a
hatchback,
manta ray shaped with a D on. I don't.
Mark's car.
Yeah.
I was right. Hey, all right. So
He's got no
AP2,
four.
AP2 maximum speeds, and first gear was 39. Second gear was 60. Third gear was 83. Top speed of fourth gear is 106. Fifth gear was 130, and then the
Everything's
maximum
rattling.
speed sixth gear was 160.7.
Shoo.
So yeah, at the top of fourth, if you're,
quick.
and I've done it before. Like I've shifted and like got on the interstate and really just redlined it to fourth gear, looked down, and went, oh, whoops.
Yep.
So even like when you're driving, like I've ridden in a Terminator Cobra, an 03,
Ooh.
with a Kenny Bell supercharger that was pushing like 600 wheels. It's stupid on the street. Like you cannot. I mean, it's fun, but
Right.
you're like, oh, fun. Oh, fun's over.
It's never practical because you're at the next stoplight as soon as you hit the gas.
Absolutely, it's so much fun. But at that point, over like a good buddy of mine who used to race. Did we talk about the Plymouth Laser on the last episode? I think we did with Mark.
I think so.
So that was a 450 wheel horsepower, like 91 Laser that he took on the drag strip. He was like, a 450 wheel horsepower car on the street is pretty much all you'll ever need.
Yeah, it's true.
Because that's at the crank, that's a mid to high 500 car.
If you're in the 250s to 300s, you're capable of owning the street if you drive aggressive.
At the wheel or the crank?
At
I'd
the
say the
wheel.
wheels. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And that's the thing. Like, these 6-cylinder engines and these Acuras that I've owned, I've been able to get out in front of whatever I needed to. Whether if it was shit, if there was a Mustang or whatever the fuck, I was able to get in front of it if I needed to.
Yep.
And yeah, they're going to pass me on the top end, but I'm going to get them whenever I need to get out into traffic.
So what you need for your next car is one of the last V6 stick-shifted Accords.
Yes. Oh, man. Those new stick... all right, so this last year, I guess it was the 2018 in this case. Well, I know they've got newer models, but the 2018 Accord,
Yeah, now it's
they
got the
are
Turbo
offering
4 in it.
stick.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
Why did they ever stop in the first place?
Sales. If they're
Yeah,
not selling,
sales.
they're
What the
yeah,
hell?
like
It's like less than 5%.
The next Mazda 6 is a stillborn.
Yeah, no more stick.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I guess you don't realize what you have until it's gone.
The Accord to get, which
Things
I'm
I like to
still
complain about now for cars I can't buy for another 10 years.
Right.
so it's, ideas I've thrown around. We're getting, like, if Emily were to get a CUV when she trades the Accord in, she's looking at an HRV.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to set up a little higher. She likes sitting in the Jeep because she's, because the Jeep's not even that high. but
That'd be
she set
perfect.
up
She doesn't need
higher.
to turbocharge anything.
I want to tinker.
Yeah, boy.
So I was like, if I get rid
First
of
gen
the,
RDX.
I never get rid of the Jeep, but I'm like, you know what? I think it's 04 to 05 Accords. You could get the 240 horsepower V6 with a 6-speed manual. Those 2 years, and that's a fucking blast to drive.
Yeah, I bet it is.
That and the 03, which Steve doesn't like the body style of, but I could take it or leave it. The 02 to 03 Maxima had the 350Z V6 with a 6-speed manual in it.
Did you say
with
a
bonus
CRV
coin
earlier?
slot
That's
sunroof?
HRV.
HRV.
So
HRV's smaller. HRV's the size of the CRV when it first came out.
Did you
Yeah,
ever see the
okay.
first gen HRV, which wasn't sold here?
No.
oh,
Envy the blind.
It is, yes.
Okay.
She ain't pretty.
what year was that? The
What?
HRV.
Like a 16.
They make them now.
They're
I think I might have actually
they're still
driven one of those.
really new.
It doesn't have the rear door handle on the door. It has it in the pillar, which brings me to another point. Like the BMW SUV is impossible to see out of like your rear quarter in. Whereas I look in the Jeep, I just see every fucking thing. It's just great. There's no headrests on the back seat.
Same for the
You just
same for a Ponyo. It was like I had to pull the headrests out, so they live in the garage and have for the last 4 years.
Yep. Because, I mean, you don't ever carry that many passengers.
No.
And I don't either. I just carry speakers and audio shit. And you don't really have that many passengers either, do you?
And
No,
since I haven't done my
when
airbag
I
recall,
was
Kaylin's not
driving
riding in my
Lyft,
car, so we take
maybe,
hers
but-
everywhere.
Oh God, doing ride shares. But no, I drove a CRV. What it was at 2018, 2019, super new. That thing's got some get up.
They drive, all the Honda
They
SUVs
haul
drive
ass.
like really big Accords.
Yeah,
Every one of them
yeah,
do.
they do.
The trucks do too.
I gotta say, I don't hate that new Passport.
I don't either.
That's a good looking rig.
Well, even the all right, so you're truck haters who don't like the Pilot, and I'm like, well, look, guys, I understand buying a Cummins
Or the Ridgeline.
that's what I meant. God, it's been
Dude.
a long day. I was in Maryland this morning, so it's been a long day.
That make you dumb. Passport based pickup.
Yes,
That would look so much better
It would.
than the second gen Ridgeline.
but like the Ridgeline is all the truck you would need for, I'd say 75% of truck buyers,
no joke.
because you need a Cummins if you're going to pull your boat.
Well, it's an automatic only front drive bias one.
Like who cares?
Oh, hey, me.
Who cares? Do you need to carry things that are a little bit bulkier than you could carry in your SUV, and you only need a 5-foot bed? Yes, of course. Like these people that buy these fucking long bed, squatted fucking F350 Power Strokes.
And they're
put
by
all-
themselves.
All by themselves with the gauges. Need a ladder to get in your fucking. But by the way, I saw the best
Ego
meme.
needs room. Dick does not need room.
The best meme, you know, that Carolina squat thing where the back is lower than the front.
could
Somebody said
chipping a
just,
dollar.
just because you have to squat to pee doesn't mean your truck has to.
Or like clip $1 to a note saying, "Sorry you couldn't finish your lift. Here you go."
Yeah, here you,
For
yeah,
the
that's
truck
so fucking
haters.
stupid.
For the truck haters, I saw a meme recently saying that the reason why truck drivers pickup drivers are tailing you on the left lane is that they're on the way to go suck their dad's dick.
Goddamn.
They're in a rush. It was really fucked up. But
Mac is the meme man here.
yes, I am.
He will take
He's
that meme.
Chris's disciple.
That is true. That's true.
No, we trade memes back and forth. It is a constant cycle.
I unsubscribed from
Chris
from Chris. I
Pilarski.
had to.
Yeah.
I had to. It was
I
too
don't.
much.
He's that's the thing. We
It
have a
is
very
the-
similar humor mindset in that.
Y'all got the best shit.
I think my favorites right now are the Ant-Man up
I
Thanos'
snoozed.
ass.
I've snoozed you now.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got so tired of seeing the Ant-Man stuff. I was like, I don't appreciate the meme because I don't watch that stuff. So
I
anyways,
don't
I was
blame
like,
you.
all right, that's enough of that for 30 days.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see-
get that. There will be new memes.
What
by
new
that
horrible-
time.
Horribleness will
the
arise.
moth too. I did the moth too. I was like, I can't take the moth.
Yeah, the moth memes were great.
I didn't like them.
Man, that's the thing. When I get onto a meme, I'll post every variant I can find.
The
of
Winnie
it.
the Pooh memes I get on board all
Because-
fucking day with.
Yeah,
I love the Winnie the Pooh.
say.
memes only live for about a week or two, and then they're gone from human memory afterwards. So you have to get it while it's hot. And man, if the internet doesn't show up for some good ones, like. All right, Shaggy, for instance, last
What
month or
the
the month
fuck
before
was that?
Oh my god, I don't know because the last the Winnie the Pooh in a tuxedo, regular pronunciation to just above par pronunciation is
Pussy
fantastic.
mignon.
Pussy mignon.
My favorite right now is the one that says tomato. Or no.
Tomato.
Yeah, that's a good one. But there's one that says Winnie the Pooh and then Vincent
the feces.
the feces. Yes, it's perfect. Oh God,
That's a fucking good one too.
the first one says you have cancer. The other one's just a scribble, and the guy's wearing a doctor's uniform. Oh, so I mean the possibilities are endless.
feces.
Why don't you make video?
This is why.
This is it. Yeah, I can just
Google
explain
this
it to you.
nonsense
Let's
yourself.
talk about it.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's so fucking great.
God, but yeah, memes are great. They're the new art form, and I don't think people quite appreciate it to the extent that they should, but they will. It'll be in hindsight for sure.
Several thousand years
like
from
the,
now.
the original one was you're the man now
It'll be up on-
dog.com.
Yeah. Oh God. Rage comics, early 2000s.
I love Rage comics.
Oh man.
Have you
Yeah.
ever seen the mashups of them? They'll take two and then mash them up together. So like the one of Jackie Chan doing this, and then the guy from How I Met Your Mother doing the wine, the toast. It has just Jackie Chan drinking wine with a confused look on his face. I fucking
I
love
could
those.
take that. Oh yeah.
I love that. Like I had to explain.
I order red.
I had to explain to Emily what so when Thomas calls me, his ringtone for the last at least
Forever.
10 years has been Banana Phone. And she always thought it was just stupid. And I was like, have you ever seen Banana Phone? And she's like, no. So I let her watch Banana Phone. I was like, this is the origins of Banana Phone. She goes, oh, well, that's just weird. I said, yep, that it is. Well, Mac, you tell everybody what we're drinking now, even though Steve and I are a little bit ahead
that's
of
got
you.
a lot of head on it. Ooh, not a double IPA. P.S. It's a double IPA. 8.7%
Yep.
ABV. Not too bad. And
From?
sorry, that label's crazy. Appalachian Mountain Brewery.
Yes.
Yeah, in Boone. So,
That place is
shout out.
We've played there 3 times. Haven't played there lately. They book a lot more mountainy, bluegrassy bands. So we get in when we can get in, and
Gotcha.
we haven't got in like 2 years. But that was always a really appreciative crowd, and I'll be honest with you. We played there, and then we've played at the beach and at Mackay, which we're not going to be able to play at anymore because they don't want to play the ASCAP. They don't want to pay the ASCAP fees and the BMI fees from artists who remember those. Well, you play music that blah 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 and cover music. We want our share of, and it's like $1,000 a fucking
Yuck.
year, and
The
they'll hound
hell?
you until you pay it. But so
Didn't even know that
it's
was a thing.
Yep. It's refreshing to, like, when we went to Mackay and, like, people would stop us saying, you guys sound great. I was like, thank you. It's like, thank you for not playing beach music. I mean, we know we live at the beach, but we don't want to fucking hear beach music all the time. And it was the same in the mountains when they were like, you guys sound great. They're like, thank you guys for playing something that's not like bluegrass or mountain. Like, we love bluegrass, but when we go out to hear music, we don't always want to hear bluegrass. That's
don't always want to hear.
Sugar Creek does that too. Like the lady who books at Sugar Creek told us that she didn't like the vibe that we brought, not the talent, the vibe. I was like, well, I'm sure they have a lot of regulars. Like, we go to Saucer all the time. Like
Every Monday.
yeah.
More
So
or
could you
less.
imagine going every Monday and hearing the same band play the same shit every week? Like, it would be so fucking horrible.
And after all, You're My Wonder Wall.
I mean, we did
Was
play
all
that
the
Kings of
before.
time. Yeah,
Leon.
but that was like back in the day of Monday being open mic night, and that was like that.
Pretty
was
much.
I'd
the
be pissed.
go-to. Oh, like, here's 4 different versions of the same damn song, none of which done well. Neat.
So the first song I ever played live in front of anyone was Angry Chair,
Angry Chair.
acoustic.
Holy shit!
And then I
What?
played Fell on Black Days. That was my first 2 I
Nice.
ever played in front of people.
What if you simply
Yeah.
take your catalog and modify it? So rather than Black Hole Sun, you've got
Just play Black Hole
Light-
Sun over it. You know?
Light Hole Moon.
Oh, man.
Good night, Black Hole Moon. But it was funny, like, because we found out about my mom on Saturday morning, and Saturday night I had a show at Pour 64, and I was solo the first hour and a half. Toby had got stuck at work, so and I'm sitting there setting up, and I'm in my own head because I'm by myself, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play a bunch of stuff I've never played live before because who fucking cares? If you don't try hard enough to fail, you didn't try hard enough.
Mhm.
So I played a lot of new stuff. So I played about 10 new songs, and I'm gonna keep 8 of them on the set list. And it's cool. Like you realize you just kind of got to push yourself a little bit. If you just keep playing, if you keep not even playing, just any kind of thing you can inject yourself into personally. If you don't push yourself to do certain things, then you'll get complacent and you'll never. So I played Head Over Heels from Tears for Fears by myself, even
wow.
the lead and everything, because I have my Ditto pedal that I can record and it plays it back. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try. I was like, guys, you guys care if I play something new and fuck it up? And they were like, nah, man, fucking go for it. I'm like,
Sweet.
cool. Because most of the people in the audience anyway, it would be like if Steve were teaching me about computers. He could tell me the most mundane fucking thing about a computer that he knows is basic knowledge, and I'd be like, well, that's interesting. And it's not interesting. It's the same way with music. If I'm up there playing something that's super easy, they all think I'm a fucking genius, and I'm really fucking not.
Right.
So it's you stay in your own lane and wait your turn to be a shining star. But
And to jump onto that bandwagon, if you're not doing something that makes your heart pound,
Mhm.
you know, like if you're nervous as shit and your heart is pounding, you're doing something right. Unless you're doing something really wrong. But
you're doing coke.
I can't say I know anything about that.
Sounds like the
but,
early years of an online dating
you
career.
know, yeah. I mean, it's a step in the right direction because if you're not pushing yourself, you're degrading. You're
It's a complacency.
And
devolving
now.
instead of evil.
It is absolutely a complacency. No, I mean
Yeah.
I've eaten a lot of dicks over the years.
Oh,
Yeah, figuratively.
Yeah.
playing
And
stuff that
literally.
just doesn't.
Trickle, Nixon, or Van Dyke.
Well, I love Days of the New, and I've tried to make the song "The Downtown" sound good solo, and it just fucking doesn't. And I realized that again the other night. I'm like, I just can't get it.
You got to figure out how to play 2 guitars at once.
Well, that and like it, just the arrangement doesn't work well because there's a lot of it's hard to explain. It just doesn't work well as in an acoustic duet. It needs those drums behind it to give it the power. There's a lot of man. I'm telling you what, I could sit here and talk until fucking tomorrow morning when I had to go to work about that stuff. But you gotta you don't try hard enough to fail. You're not trying hard enough. Everybody's
Well said.
failed.
Oh yeah, failure has been, I would argue, the last 10 years of my life. There have been successes, mind you, but I think it's been highlighted by failure, and I think that only creates an urgency to succeed.
Mhm.
If you're bullshitting around, it's something that you're not really applying yourself to. And I mean, of course, people have hit rock bottom a lot harder, but if you can hit rock bottom, you get some perspective.
It's more helpful to fail.
Right.
If you always succeed, that time you do fail,
You don't
you're
see
not
the
gonna
value.
know what to do. No, there's no value in it.
There's no value in it, and you're not going to know what to do if shit goes bad.
Nope.
Which inevitably, life is a strange and fickle creature. It can bite you in the ass, but it can also provide you exactly what you need and or way more than that. So I'm happy that I got a chance to live those shitty years out, even though they sucked during that time. It's something good on the back end that you can reflect on, like never going.
Yeah,
that's huge.
It is.
That's a huge mindset to have.
I remember when I was at the time I was dating a girl and she broke up with me and I just turned 21. That was when I played at Saucer for the first time in open mic night, and I didn't think anything about it. And I played my 2 songs for open mic night, and that's all I had prepared was 2. And then I got off the stage and I'm like, I don't know how that sounded, but I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Came back to the bathroom, went back to my table, and the guy stopped me. He's like, "Dude, I fucking love Allison." She's like, "You did a great job." I was like, "Thank you." And then another guy said, "That was pretty good for your first time." I'm like, "Thanks." And it's okay. And those are some of my fondest memories. And I had no money at all. I lived by myself, so like my rent was $600 a month, and my checks were $615 every 2 weeks. So one check went to rent. The other check went to, at the time, my car payment and car insurance and my phone bill and my power bill and the cable bill. So I had nothing. But that's why I put together so many fucking puzzles. So I would make my own 6-pack at work, and I would take a 6-pack home every 2 days, and I'd sit there and do a puzzle, and I'd put music on, and I would just sit there and just have a couple. That was some of my fondest fucking memories. I had nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, to shout out my most recent job experience before I had this really cool, super awesome gig, I was working at O'Reilly's Auto Parts as a delivery driver, making $8.50 an hour. So if y'all can imagine, after busting ass for 2 weeks, and we're talking 40-hour weeks, if at the least 35, coming home to $450 after taxes. Like, why did I even take this? Because that having to work that much, not get a lot. It's a tough thing to do, and it also, once your bills are paid, there's nothing left. So it's a struggle, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. They've either gone through it or they're going through it now. It's you just kind of have to keep looking to get out of that situation at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
it's persistence.
I took classes.
You have a degree?
And I have a associate's that's 10 years old in IT.
That's more than we got.
So, whatever that's worth.
So, you're the least qualified guest we've ever had.
Sweet.
Nice. And you're still more qualified than we are. Top tier.
It's certifiable. But it's like, you went from puzzles to look at you now, beating GT2.
Well, it didn't take that long, actually. But I have this personality where, all right, I'll give you an idea. I'll give you 2 examples of how my personality.
Next up, Road Rash.
I'll give you an example of my personality type. I'll give you 2 examples. The first one is every time I've moved, I've stayed up until everything is unpacked, all the pictures are hung, and all the dishes are put away.
Oh, my God.
Stayed up all night until it's done. Also, when I start a puzzle, I will not stop until it's done. So I finish... My record is I finished a 1,000-piece puzzle in 18 hours.
And I'm sure you've told everyone about your...
That was with 5 hours of sleep. So I finished it at 13 hours.
Am I thinking about Gran Turismo records? I'm sure you filled everyone in about your completion.
100%.
Yes. Okay.
All the 100 lap races, all the license tests, 50 golds, 10 silvers.
All the real ones know how hard that is.
I have no quit. Like that's
that
why
game taught me to quit.
Yeah.
that is why I don't start a lot of new things.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I did when we got back from San Diego, that Saturday we got back Friday evening. Saturday morning I went to Lowe's and I got the stuff to refinish the garage. So for 14 days straight, I did garage. Like I'd go to work, I'd come home, I'd work in the garage and get all the drywall hung, everything painted, everything like all the joint compound, and then it sanded away and done. 2 straight weeks, I lost 8 pounds in 2 weeks just doing that and eating the shit that I eat.
That garage looks fucking good, though.
It does.
Yeah,
too.
it came out all right.
I could not stop. I can't stop until I get something done.
I mean, that's not a bad quality to have either.
It's a
blessing and a curse.
It can be. It can be, because once I get started on something,
nothing else gets done.
I have to. It's a one-track thing.
Yeah.
I'm working on a new song, and I've re-recorded the guitars like 12 times.
Ooh.
But now I'm happy with the sound. I'm just re-EQing everything, making sure everything sets well in the mix, and I'll be releasing that as a single.
Guitar tracks. It's gonna be incredible.
Well, there's so much, so I only have 2 guitar tracks. Some people do quad tracking, some do triple tracking, where there's 3 guitar tracks to each side.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, if you record that many, you have to lower your gain and your distortion, because if you lower a lot of distortion 3 straight times in one, it just turns into mush. So you have to. So I have it. It's there's so much shit to learn, and I just don't have enough time to do all this. I need to quit my day job and just do this for a living.
That's the goal.
It would be great.
Everyone wants to quit the day job to do what they really want to be doing.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's harder than it is hard. People are just like, just quit. I'm like,
what the fuck do you mean?
Listen to
These
what you
bills are coming.
Exactly. Like, people, it's easy to say things. It's harder to do them.
Right.
That's why a lot of people that don't like, I'll use a sports analogy. That's why a lot of people who talk about sports were the ones that couldn't do it. Because it does take a certain discipline.
You know, I watch esports. I'm gonna throw my nerdism out there. Overwatch has an esports league, and I've been watching that like crazy. Saw a Facebook post of like, somebody that is playing at the utmost here, and that's a tough game. Just without going too far into it, it's 6v6, capture the flag, capture a point, move a payload kind of game styles. And these guys will go back and forth, not even move the shit, because they're just beating the hell out of each other so much and healing each other so much no one dies. So it's crazy. It is the biggest deadlock you've ever seen. Ugh. But I saw a meme. Somebody
professional
dying,
soccer,
and then there's this fat guy sitting on a couch, like, what a dumbass! Like, it speaks to the whole sports thing of, that guy fucked up that shot, or he couldn't kick that field goal, or he couldn't get that grab. You can throw all that in, but at the same time, you haven't experienced that yourself, so you don't see the pressure. You don't understand how tough that's going to be. And it's that again, the whole people speaking to things they may not know. I'm not sure.
I can't play shit in 3D since about the first Doom on like 93 PC.
It's tough, man.
It's like,
tough out here.
I think before the unsubscription of Chris Anthony, he posted, so I was like, when you see an Olympic swimmer and he doesn't beat the world record by 0.1 seconds, has a really fat guy eating a hot pocket, what a fucking loser.
Exactly. Exactly the meme. Yes.
I'm going to go grab a couple of the ones you brought.
Yeah,
you guys talk
Let's
amongst yourselves. I'm going to go grab those and give the wife an old kissy kiss.
Yeah. I've got stories for those.
I ain't got time for anything else.
Yeah.
Well,
hug your wife for me.
Say hello to your mother for me. No, but yeah.
Back to the Future. Say your mom for me.
Oh God, Biff. There's a Telltale Games, may they rest in peace, because they actually shut down as a developer.
I've got it on Wii and still haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
Whoops. I was like, I own it. I've heard it's quite good.
They are good. I've got the Back to the Future series. I played the Walking Dead ones that they had. They also did Batman and Borderlands. So they're all over the place. But played Back to the Future recently, and the amount of content that they came up with could have been put in 2 or 3 more games. So like that,
for what's worth, it's been easier to make that, like, especially that style game versus the NES Back to the Futures. Ever played those?
No.
Don't.
Can't say I have.
They're terrible. They are so bad.
I bet. Demolition Man wasn't bad on SNES, though.
I'll get back to you on that. I haven't tried that one.
Shit when I was like,
I could probably play downstairs,
or maybe 8 to 10 years old.
Okay,
this was before high definition gore, so everything looked the same.
Well, it was also in sanitized Nintendo era as well. It wasn't until Mortal Kombat 2 came out on SNES that All right, the gloves are off. Barely, but they're off.
Shout out to Kat Kramer. Me and my sister, we were playing that when we were like 7 and 8, something like that. My parents didn't know how nasty that game was when they first got it. That happens, though. It was
I remember that
thing.
came out that I think this... Is it when I had one or before I had a Super Nintendo? But I had neighbors, like, one had Genesis, one had Super, and like seeing the difference between the two, it's like... Well, the Genesis only has 3 buttons, and the SNES has all these, and like it looks and sounds better.
Yeah.
I still remember the code on Sega Genesis when you played Mortal Kombat. Abacab made it bloodier.
Ooh,
that is also one of the best Genesis albums.
Whichever
aren't they Swedish? Abacab.
Whichever map had
it was a hybrid
that you could uppercut finished enemies into.
It was the dancing turn it on again.
That was the best map. That was the only reason me and my sister played Mortal Kombat, is trying to uppercut each other into the spike pit.
Yeah, the
and
spike pit
awesome.
was freaking rad.
Yeah, it's fucking savage, you know? But that's the thing. Like, you know, there wasn't any advertising for games. There were pamphlets that came with them.
There were like
they weren't mentioning
EGM would have had ads for games in it.
Yeah.
There were
meanwhile,
flyers
I had
at Blockbuster. That was the extent of it.
Greensboro had an actual game shop that you could rent systems from, rent games, buy imports. I rented a 3DO at 13 to play that Road Rash game on it. So, like, if you're done with Gran Turismo 2, play Road Rash, Motorcycle Combat. It's awesome.
Mac brought another one. What are we drinking?
Hooray!
Sure did. So, pivoting to Charlotte beers, I've got a Victory Cloudwalker Hazy Juicy IPA, and this is also a 6.8%, so kind of up there. And the description, soaring far beyond hazy. This dry hopped hazy juice IPA explodes as tropical and fruity notes float through cloudy formations to elevate hops to the highest pedestal. So, that was a pretty good description. But they've got a what is that? A balsa plane on it?
I'm not a plane guy.
Okay, I'm talking about like balsa wood.
Oh,
like,
totally.
Balsa,
remember those little
yeah.
planes that you put together?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it
Yeah,
is.
dude, that's tight.
Those were fun.
That's a nice can
rad.
logo. I can
Those
dig
were fun.
that. But
You brought your nice can over.
yeah, sure did.
Thanks, man.
Brought them both. But excuse me.
That's fine. I've done it on Mike a bunch.
had to
Probably
keep it
faux
local,
pas. But,
you know.
but let's cheers to this one. I've
Cheers
never
to
had
this
this one before, I don't think. So I love a hazy IPA.
Same. I'm burping my guts up right now. Excuse me.
And that's a good hazy IPA. Yep. We're getting pretty good at this whole drinking beer thing. I think we should make I don't know.
You should make a podcast about it. You know?
You should at least
Probably.
you should at least let it get you sent to Denver.
It's coming up fairly soon. Probably won't be until 2020. But I don't want to rush through it because we've had a surprise trip this year that we weren't expecting. So and then we'll go to Chicago in 5.5 weeks. So
Tight.
yeah, we'll be there for a week for anniversary number 6.
At least you're not getting that wind. Apparently the fabled Chicago wind that can cut through your bones. How cold
Fine.
it is.
Good. Fuck it. I don't want heat.
You don't want that. any Chicagoan, if that's a correct term.
In Chicago, I don't think the wind is what I
Would
need to
tell
be.
you
Chicagoese.
I don't.
Yes.
Chicago is like the wind is not what I need to be afraid
shit
of.
will kill
It's-
you,
It's
literally.
the murder. It's the murder I need to be afraid.
Both will kill you.
Stay out the South Side.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
The closer you are to Gary, Indiana, the worse. Sorry, Michael
Place
Jackson's
to
ghost.
place.
Sorry
to Michael Jackson's ghost. Fuck Michael Jackson.
the new
loved his music.
The
but
new documentary.
kind of a terrible
the new
bastard,
documentary
though.
says he didn't do it. A lot of it was fabricated.
That's
I haven't watched it.
You know,
I'm just going off of what I heard.
haven't watched it either.
Yep, I need to watch it.
He
was weird.
Takes a village, right?
Yeah.
And when you can make assumptions, and when you can, I mean, everybody's going to be in that spotlight that has that much fame. And Michael Jackson, and mind you, we're talking on a podcast about Michael Jackson. I heard this on Joe Rogan. I saw this. I don't listen to Joe Rogan, but I did see a clip, and they're talking about the exact same thing.
It's a fucking great. Now,
Dude,
I avoid,
what is that theme song?
You know?
That theme song is the raddest.
I avoid some of. I avoid the Alex Jones episodes.
Fuck that guy.
I avoid the Ben Shapiro.
Putting myself, and fuck him too.
I avoid that. But
putting him on record.
Me too. In Joe's defense, though, he has the most eclectic group of. He'll have Bernie on, and then he'll have Shapiro. Like he has everybody.
He's all
on.
over the place.
Where the hell's that Kanye episode?
Oh, fuck.
I don't
want to
I'm not
see
going to listen to that one.
I want to see that level of batshit.
I'm not going to listen to that one. I did listen to a little bit of Mike Tyson one.
I would listen to Mike Tyson.
And
I would.
like Mike Tyson did. Like he's
was
had
fucking
assault.
crazy and shit.
He's had assault with.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The thing too is, a lot of people don't realize, and the same thing with Michael Jackson too. Michael Jackson had no childhood.
Right.
At all. When he was 5 years old, he was on tour with Jackson 5. Like he was out there with them, and while Freddie and Tito were fucking girls right there beside him on the tour bus.
Yikes.
That's gonna. If you're 5 years old, you don't understand.
It's gonna fuck with you a little bit too, like just in the grand scheme. Yep. But what I heard on the Joe Rogan podcast, if I'm plugging that, I'm gonna also plug Star Talk because Neil deGrasse Tyson
absolutely.
is fucking tight. Anyways, they were talking about how he was chemically castrated. Like he didn't really have the testosterone coming to him, or they were. I don't know how that works, y'all. Don't kill me. But at the same time, if there are that many people coming forward saying that someone did something, I tend to believe the group, and that may be wrong, but also I would urge people to look at past incidences of this with multiple people coming forward and explaining something about someone, and there are exceptions to that rule, of course, but if it's a good handful and they have intricate stories and there are able to be connections tied, I look at the connections to things when I see this kind of stuff. I think that he fucking did little kids. He did that. He's dead now. He can't defend it. I
10 years. 2009.
Yeah, he's been dead.
You were 19.
Yeah.
What a fucking youngster.
I know. Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
I tried to sing "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" at karaoke that night. By the way, do not ever try to do that song.
I would pay some kind of money to see that.
Yeah, at the original Jackalope Jack that is no more. Rest in peace, that joke.
Yeah, rip that shit too. But here's the thing: he made great music, right? Everyone at some point jammed out to his music. He was also fucked up at some in some way. It's not. I can't speak to any level of depth on Michael Jackson to that degree, but if you enjoyed the content, you did, but also you may not have to enjoy the person to enjoy the content.
It was on NPR, and they were
I've
talking
never seen
about
a Woody
R. Kelly.
Allen movie.
It was an R. Kelly thing.
Tim Allen's pissing me off too.
Well, yeah. Somebody made all the grunt, every grunt that was ever in Home Improvement. Somebody made a montage on YouTube. It's like 11 hours long.
Great show too.
Well,
Dude, I cannot watch that show anymore. Like it didn't age well.
JT
Yeah, it
man.
didn't age well,
Rawr.
but it was good at that time.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
but
So there's a thing you
The more time that passes, the more I identify with Mark.
definitely. Can you separate the art from the artist? That was what it was. So can you enjoy
Well, for what
something?
it's worth, I am not standing too close to a naked man.
True. But
His
the thing
book
too is,
title.
I want to see Tiger Woods break the Jack Nicklaus's record in golf. I want to see it
of what?
in my lifetime.
Dude, that did make the best Steel Panther song.
Yes. So
What record is this?
the most majors ever won by a professional golfer.
Okay.
Now Tiger Woods cheated on his
nothing
wife,
about
and I know that's a piece of shit move.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Bill Burr has a great thing about this, about epidemic of gold digging whores. He goes, Kobe's wife cheated, and now she is a babysitter worth $250 million. He goes, he cheated. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Congratulations to her.
He's like, the relationship's over.
You
This
know?
should be over with. He goes, why does she hang around like some jaded cop for 6 years trying to get her pension?
Well, here's a thought on celebrity wives. Actually, this is perfect. We're talking about this. Jeff Bezos and his wife just settled.
Oh, what?
Do you know how much she got?
How much?
$35 billion. with a goddamn B, y'all. B for boatloads of money.
I
And
would suck his dick for
here's
that much money.
here's the thing. She helped him set up that business.
Yeah.
So she is entitled to that.
True.
Whether people agree or not, that is irrelevant. That was between them. And that's the thing. If excuse me.
That's okay.
If we're talking about, whether these celebrity wives deserve the money or not, that is a decision between them. I'm not going to judge it, because if you have somebody's kids, that right there is worth $1 million at the very least. I can't imagine how tough childbirth is, because luckily enough, I don't have to deal with birthing children.
Being kicked in the nuts is more painful than childbirth.
Disagree.
Oh,
imagine taking the giantest shit you can imagine and then quadruple that and then do it out your pee hole.
I can prove it. I can prove it. All right. So I've seen a man get kicked in the nuts, and I know women who have had children.
Yeah.
A lot of women go, let's have another. I've never seen a guy go, hey, do it again.
Fair. One serves a purpose, the other does not. I'll throw that in there, but yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. But yeah, man.
They need to change some of these marriage laws.
What is that? Oh no.
Like I said, I'm still not standing too close to a naked man.
Oof.
Let me see that naked man.
You guys have seen,
Tim Allen, yeah.
seen the picture of Tim Allen after he got clocked for having like a pound of cocaine.
Oh yeah,
on
it's
him as well.
fantastic. From
Great mustache,
1977.
fantastic mustache. I'll give him that.
So did you listen to the JRE about Mike Tyson, about how his father left at an early age, and when he trained to be a boxer when he was like 10.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like, he was programmed, you don't feel anything, you don't love anything, you are a boxer, you are a trained fighter, that's all you do. So when you're 10 years old and that's all you've taught, of course you're going to be fucked up in the
God
head.
kind of complex.
Of course you're going to be fucked up in the head.
That's comparable to taking your kid to church every Sunday. That is
not asking them, making them go and making them do the thing. Yes,
believe
absolutely.
it and everything.
Yeah.
And
stick.
I'll tell you, man, that comes from another side of the human anatomy that is not used as much anymore. Luckily, we are not as primal of beings as we used to be.
I don't know.
We all still have our tendencies, but we're not running out there with fucking broadswords trying to chop each other up constantly. It's not something we're doing anymore. Or pulling out muskets. Actually, people are pulling muskets, It's just, I saw a meme of this girl the other day with a revolver and taking a picture with it. They're like, what did you use that in the Civil War? Like, what are you rolling up on Abraham Lincoln? Like,
I think a gun needs an oil change.
Yeah, exactly. Good God. But, fighting is a whole different thing. You're using a completely separate side of yourself. And if you don't know how to fight, I'll advocate for it. Learn that shit, because it gives you a whole different confidence in yourself that you didn't even know you had.
You did what did you take?
I did Muay Thai. So Thai kickboxing, which shout out Black Belt USA, Dan King and
That's
Ying
racist.
King. No. Those are my people. Like they taught me a lot, and I still have the bumps in my shins from kicking the bottom of that bag. It felt like kicking concrete. But man, if you don't learn some things about yourself and your limitations, you realize that, you're capable of a lot more than initially thought. And I've only had to fight once in my life, and I was able to kick the shit out of that guy when I needed to. He was beating up on his girlfriend. It was a perfect excuse.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, I advocate strongly for learning some kind of self-defense art.
That's a great, yeah.
Yeah.
Getting Muay Thai and Mai Tai mix up. Like,
yeah.
You're
everyone does.
Your fighting style to drink.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
I like this idea. I'm a lover, not a fight. I've never been in a fight. I've never been in a real fight.
I've been in one. Actually, I'll call it two. And I was a teenager, and it was with one of my best friends at the time. and it was a stupid fight. I punched him in the forehead when I finally had the advantage, which was really stupid because he clocked me and I had to go to school with a black eye. I was just that nice of a guy that I punched him straight in his forehead, nailed that motherfucker, but it's his forehead, so whatever.
I feel like I'll try to minimize damage to myself and try to catch them with this part of my hand in just the right way, that not to hurt myself.
I mean, shit, after punching a bag with bare knuckles, because normally whenever I'm practicing on a bag, I'll go bare knuckle just to have that experience, but you will scuff your knuckle skin so easily. And that's the thing, it doesn't look like much when you initially do it, but it will all scab over within about or two, and then you got to go through a 2-week healing process on your hand for that all those scabs to go away. So that sucks. Bag burns are the worst. Well, actually, I can't say that, but they're really bad, especially on your knuckles. So,
like I said, I haven't had fingerprints on my left hand in like 8 years from playing guitar.
Oof.
So I could rob a bank lefty.
Yeah.
Be the Southpaw Bandit, and they would never suspect me because I'm right-handed.
So with your powers combined...
That's funny because I was sitting in my training class today at work, and we're talking about time clocks, right? You know, how people punch in and out nowadays. There are biometric scanners.
Mm-hmm.
They actually get the blood vessels under your skin instead of the actual fingerprint, because there are some industries where they're working with chemicals. They either burn their fingerprints off or they... nick them off over time.
I think like working in print shop, we've got one of those fingerprint scanners, or I guess it's fingerprint scanner.
Does it fuck up on you?
It's a finicky piece of junk.
Yeah.
Yesterday I got locked
That's
out of the
because you can't
building,
reach
and
your
that's what the number had.
And your employer won't tell you that. I'm just going to tell you guys that now. Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
But, I was working in an industrial lubricant factory warehouse before this. I can imagine losing your fingerprints off.
I could use a drum of lube.
Did you know shit's expensive.
Did you know Easy Off is actually an oven cleaner and not a sex lubricant?
That's going to be a tough one.
Guess who found out the hard way?
Yikes.
And now it's the soft way. Now we're drinking an Ennis & Gunn Original Barrel-Aged Scotch Ale. It is fantastic. Unique bourbon barrel aging process unlocks flavors like vanilla and toffee, combined with the malty character of the Scotch ale to create an incredible tasting experience.
This is the brand that Gray Skull told me about a long time ago, but never got around to trying. So this will be my first Ennis & Gunn.
Oh, well, cocked and loaded.
Cheers, fuckers.
Yeah. Clink, clink. But,
God damn, that's good.
Cheers
also,
myself,
you
no friends.
Got that. Okay.
Oh, my.
Yeah, we're going to have to... We've got an extra little bit left over.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
There you go.
Sharing's caring.
Yeah, it sure is. And
we haven't delved much into. We've delved into to
everything.
Beer. We've delved into everything. So you did the hip hop thing.
Yes.
But Kendrick didn't come on the scene until. By the way, welcome to an hour and a half ago. Kendrick didn't come on the scene unpopularly until maybe mid 2000s, right?
Right.
And then it just built. Now, have you listened to any of Chance?
That is one thing that I wish I have, but I haven't.
Okay.
Dude, he seems like a fantastic guy. I don't like his music. And he's got that Sprite ad that makes me envy the deaf.
I haven't heard it.
I was like, it is some squealy bullshit.
The thing I like
it's
about
funny
him
is like he's got all like the 80s lowriders in the ad, but dude, that ain't music.
Fucking dope on a humanistic level. He's doing a bunch of shit for Chicago.
He's completely independent also.
I haven't been able to either listen to his music or the songs that I've turned on for some reason haven't clicked with me enough to be like, I need to go back and listen to that whole album. And Kendrick was the first artist that I started with Section 80, which is his second or third album. Again, y'all don't kill me, but somewhere around there, it was awesome.
Part of the answer box.
You know what? I've got my own answer box right here.
That's a bigger answer box.
Yeah.
They're bigger, maybe not better.
Look, it is.
What, you don't use Bing?
Fantastic. The storytelling aspect was what got me at the very beginning. It's like reading a book. but it's rap.
So it's like a
instead.
concept rap album.
Yeah.
Okay, because Coheed and Cambria do that
I
too.
still need to listen to the Beastie Boys, but come to think of it,
Coheed and Cambria do nothing but
Beastie
concept
Boys
albums.
are actually really great too.
Yes.
But,
Although
why
one of
I
my
have a
favorites he
preference for-
hates. I love Paul Revere. He hates Paul Revere.
Section 80 was his second full album.
that's
Overly
a shame in my
Dedicated was his
game.
first one, which I enjoyed some songs from there, but Section 80 front to back I listened to, and I know the words to, which, knowing his flow, that's a really interesting thing. But everything after that, Good Kid, Mad City, fucking awesome. It's a story about him borrowing his mom's van and going out and like hanging out with his boys and, you know, trying to chase girls and robbing somebody. And like, it's fucking awesome all the way through. And you know, it's a really weird experience for that. But I mean, you know, take yourself out of your own shoes and put yourself into someone else in Compton. Fuck, man.
You gotta survive.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining doing the same thing, but using an 88 Voyager when only 2 of the 3 speeds of the automatic work. Well, I've got a top speed of 50,
Yeah. You're not
and it'll take a minute to get there.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's going slow, but man, that fucking thing's screaming, man.
Yeah.
6,000 RPM.
Oh, God.
Fake wood paneling
That
all the
Right
way.
there. That style of rap has resonated with me. And I will also jump to Logic as my second go-to.
I've never listened to anything by Logic.
Man.
I've heard you talk about this
So,
cat a few times.
Yeah, we've talked about him, but essentially his storytelling capabilities are, I would say, on par with Kendrick's. So, and that may be spicy. It may not be. I'm not sure. Like I've seen memes where like all the nerd rappers get in one room and Logic's in there, but like, yo, he's got uplifting shit, which is a change for rap because normally it's about bad shit.
They cannot
all
be
the
easy,
time.
Chris.
Good rap is about bad shit.
Yes.
Like modern rap's
It's
about
fucked
fake,
up shit.
about
And then-
fake like money. Like that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, and I'm like, I haven't been able
Diamonds
to.
on my wrists and bills on my fists. What's up, motherfucker?
Steve's
Accurate.
flow.
Yeah, nailed it, dude.
Because I'm a huge Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Never had one lesson.
Yeah,
I'm a Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like East 1999 Eternal. That fucking is like absolutely. That's my album. That's my go-to hip hop. That or Regulate from Warren G.
Yeah,
That one's a
Regulate
good
is
one.
fucking sick.
Clear
And
black night, clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume.
and I think like the last 2 albums. I'm gonna look, y'all.
The Young Guns movies.
I think so.
As I see in terms of Logic's albums.
Logic is not Canadian. Where's he from?
You're thinking Drake.
I'm thinking
and that
Snow.
still works
That's-
up in
that's
a
Drake.
Snow's from Canada. I lick your boom boom down
Oh God.
and fall.
Right. Rush and Nickelback aren't rap. What are you talking about?
Under Pressure and The Incredible True Story were my influential albums under him.
Okay.
All of them, his songs are uplifting. It's not like, you know, Christian rock bullshit. As it comes to uplifting, it's like, oh man, I need to get my shit together and be a better person, and I could do some shit, you know? And The Incredible True Story starts out as a narrative to a science fiction movie. It's these people on a ship.
Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, but doesn't suck as bad. But you know, it
Do you often
starts.
sing or whistle just for fun?
Yeah. Oh God. But I mean, it's these people on a spaceship, and they're the narrator that says like this album was produced by Logic and like a whole bunch of other people. She spews out a bunch of names, but she's like the ship's onboard AI. Like they have this whole narrative. At the end of the album, they get off of the ship and end up on this new planet. And then Bobby Tarantino comes out, which is the next album, and that's when they start from there and
Quentin's
keep
brother?
going.
Probably.
It's fucking crazy. It's and Bobby Tarantino is Logic's other name. It's one of them, but like I really enjoy his music for the storytelling aspect and the positive sideline.
So
I
he
guess.
has pseudonyms.
I think he's got more. Frank Sinatra. Or no,
that's already taken.
No, that's
That one's
and
taken.
there's already a junior at that.
Let's see. I'm gonna look.
Third though,
The sequel to the sequel.
Three Nitra. I love multiplicity.
I've never seen it.
It's something
Hi, Steve.
Sinatra. I can't remember, and I can't find it right off, so I'm just going to throw that out there. But yeah, he's got at least 3 names.
I guess I need to check it out.
Most rappers do. That's the thing. Like, there is your lesser-known name.
Christopher Wallace,
your
Notorious
God-given
B.I.G.
name, quote-unquote. Then
Allah.
your first nickname.
We worship Allah in here.
I'm more popular nickname,
Shun
and this is what I
Puffy
want to be
Combs.
called nickname. So there's multiple nicknames for every rapper.
Yep. Well, Steve Nicks is Steve Nicks.
Yeah.
And Stevie Nicks.
Nixes and sixes.
Dude, it gets weirder. My middle name is Lawrence. Steve Lawrence, performer in the 60s.
Yeah.
And he's
Still
also
alive.
Esteban Nada.
He's fucking awesome. Is that the Steve Lawrence I'm thinking about?
Go ahead, think of another one.
Ooh.
Pass.
Pass.
Womp, womp, womp. At least you guys don't have 4 fucking names.
See,
What
mine
are
is an
you, Mexican?
acronym.
I love chips and salsa and taco. Every Mexican dish I love. So. And by the way, there's 3 Mexican countries now for some reason.
Yeah, actually 4. So there's Mexico and then the new 3 Mexicos.
Oh
so
my god, what a fucking
what the
There's
and
Mexico,
also apparently wind power
Chihuahua,
causes cancer
Oaxaca.
from the noise.
wind causes cancer.
What the fuck, guys?
You know what? I don't want a leader to lead me who's like me. I want somebody smarter than me.
You know, I saw some kind of clip.
I'm going to announce my
Today's show.
candidacy for 2020.
All right,
You're eligible.
I'll
Yeah,
throw my weight behind.
Yeah,
you.
I am
absolutely.
old enough.
Yes.
I have that qualification.
I got 2 more years to go.
I'm between, and that's the thing. This morning, I saw a video on Steve Buttigieg,
Bless you.
the mayor from Indiana, or fucking where is he from?
God, that's not a real place.
Y'all know who
it-
I'm talking
it-
about. He's like a small time mayor.
any,
that guy.
Any candidate from Indiana, I'm really worried about.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely
the 2
But
vice
no.
presidents from there are garbage.
First openly gay mayor in that.
Go on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and he's also like
fabulous.
30 something, so he's like the youngest candidate. And I've got
And the
Beto
gayest.
O'Rourke and Bernie. I'm gonna throw those 3 out there. I'm just like, fuck yeah, any of those if they win the primary.
Hell yeah,
they're
hack a
in.
president.
They got me.
You know what? I'm okay with everybody but Biden, and that's before all this anyway.
Right, and here's the thing about Biden. He's
He and
just a
Bernie have
huggy
an old
uncle.
off.
He's not like an inappropriate hug uncle, like the one that's going for the side boob hug.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all know those uncles, but
Yeah.
he just likes hugging people, and in this particular age that we're in, and fully respectable. Some people don't want to be fucking hugged.
A lot of people are non-huggers.
Like, if I
Josh
tried to come
Cadle's
hug you
Megan,
guys-
Megan's
Yeah.
not a hugger.
In earnest, if I tried to come fucking hug you guys, you might be like, "What the?"
I'd
fuck
hug you
is
with
he doing?
tongue.
Yeah, like we're not handsy people, and like there are some people that are, and you just kind of see that. Yes, fucking power glove. Yeah, just throw on a power glove, everything's forgiven. No. But there's
That's
a
where
difference
Biden's
between
They're
being
expensive
a
now.
handsy
There is that
pervert
barrier to entry, though.
and there's someone that just shows expression by touching, and that sounds really fucking weird and gross, but it's also like if they just want to pat you on the shoulder or like give you a hug, I don't see any nefarious activity in that compared to people that try to touch asses or do any of that weird shit. Like,
Why do you keep
there's a
purring when you
difference.
hug me?
So AJ is strapped the fucking power glove on now. So he's got all the 5 fucking jewels.
I'm ready.
And Ant-Man's going to pop out of his ass at any moment.
That's good.
So-
I like a little anal play.
Oh, God.
Give and
yeah.
receive.
Yeah,
So
It's 2019, man.
I liked it in 2009.
Yes.
I'm ahead of the curve, man.
Yeah,
you,
dude.
you like Thanos when he was simply purple Homer Simpson on the comic book page.
Absolutely.
Yeah, boy.
The thing, and I like before all this, I do like Biden, but I think they need fresh. They need fresh blood.
They need fresh blood.
Absolutely.
And like I enjoyed him as a vice president. I need somebody younger than 70.
It's too bad AOC's not 35.
Truth.
By the way,
going to get
listeners,
pissy.
Listeners, Mac and I have a huge crush on AOC.
No,
and I'm pretty sure Steve probably does
She's bueno,
too.
dude. She's big bueno. Like,
Oh.
and not only are her comebacks real spicy, but
Absolutely.
she's also very good looking.
She's very attractive.
So both are a plus. But like
She's smart.
She's
She's
really
sharp.
fucking smart.
But
I loved her work in Alita Battle Angel.
Look, like people give her all sorts of shit because she's young, but like they're talking about the entitled left or whatever the fuck.
Jesus
and
Christ.
I don't know what our demographics are here, but at the same token, you got to look at this that this woman a year ago was a bartender. And she wasn't making shit for money, and she was scrabbling to live like a lot of us are.
Yeah.
And just because she's in D.C. now
She's making money off the government, just like they want you to.
I'm like,
Boogity
boogity. That's a strong thing. Like she's younger than me, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm 29.
She's 27.
25 to 27. We'll just throw that range because we're not looking it up.
Okay,
But
Google.
here we go.
How old is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is 29 years old.
29.
Oh shit, she's
Oh,
my
snap.
age. Okay, so
Let's find
even
out when
so,
she was born.
that's
You said
still
March
young.
5th.
March 6th.
She's still you're still older than her.
Yeah.
October 13th, 1989.
So yeah, no, she's older than me. I
Jesus
was in
Christ,
the 90s.
Nancy Pelosi 79.
Yeah.
What? I had no idea she was 79.
And that's, I think, what the main problem is. There is not enough age difference to say, hey, this is what progressive values are now compared to, or liberal values. Y'all, if we look at the textbook definition of conservative and
I
liberal.
like progressive, not liberal. It's like the answer is not more government, better government.
I like progress.
True.
Don't get. Oh my God! When I read some
Progress
Well,
is
we didn't
key.
cover. We didn't cover this with when Kirkman was on here. But some of the shit, some of the libertarian nonsense he posts is hilarious, and I don't get into it at all. Like government's not essential. That's what he says. Government's
Libertarianism is wishful thinking.
Yeah.
To an extreme, and some people will say that about like, oh, Medicare for all and universal income, but here's the thing:
Darn, you could have money
we
and your
spend
health
so
care.
much money, y'all, on such shit. Like we just talked about Jeff Bezos and his wife splitting up earlier, and how much money they've got between the two of them. Jeff Bezos, even with that $35 billion separation deal, is still the richest man in the world.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So when we take that into consideration, and you know, we're gonna talk about the 1%, like that, those people have what? I don't know an exact percentage, so again, don't crucify me for this, but I would say it's still in the 70 to 80% of world income is in their bank accounts in some way, shape, or form, in investments, in actual cash flow, in companies, like anything, right? So if we're talking about that much money being shelved and or sent to offshore accounts that are not taxed, that money is taken out of our economy, is not taxed on, is not used or utilized in any way that helps the rest of us, even though that money is being made off of the rest of us, is we're all shopping at Amazon.
Yep.
I ordered some polos for work like the other day. Like,
Yep.
I'm
Dude,
going to be
have
waiting
you heard of
on
Marshalls?
that. Yes, I have, but I need some tall ones.
I don't play Marshalls. I play Mesas.
Because it looks like little boy clothes when I get like an extra large fucking polo. Like it's just too short. Like I need some tall ones. So got to special order that bullshit. Unfortunately, that's just the way things work. But if we're gonna spend all that money and it just disappears, what's left? And I mean that's going back into bridges and roads. Like, when was the last time you had to get an alignment or get new tires because you ran over some bullshit or hit a pothole? I hit a pothole that blew out my tire at one point. I've had that happen. I've
have
had to
two,
get my
actually.
alignment multiple
Civic.
times, get my axle fucking repaired multiple times. You know, like just bridges and roads. If you start there, you'll see an impact from that.
Who are we? Minnesota and Atlanta?
Shit. Dude,
The interstate collapsed. Pardon?
Oh, God. And see, like, we're close to that ourselves, and we don't even know it. Like, the Army Corps of Engineers or whoever that looks at all these roads and bridges. This bridge should have been decommissioned like 20 years ago. But it's still being used today. Like, why do you think the 277 loop around Charlotte, which is like the very tiniest, it's the donut hole
Which
of
is
Charlotte
horrible.
right around
When-
uptown.
when it
They
works,
just
it's
fixed
wonderful,
that.
but if there's other traffic, fuck it.
Yeah, you're
It's
done.
a horrible idea. Everybody said 277 was the worst thing to happen because now you've concentrated downtown into 277. So now they're trying to get rid of 277 as the outer loop.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
And mind you, I looked this up because one of the guys in my training class at work is from Atlanta. He was like, yeah, it's a 77-mile loop around Atlanta. Ours is 67. And because we are more spread out, Charlotte, North Carolina is more spread out.
I was
We
curious how
have
big
a
285
bigger
is.
population,
Yeah.
which is crazy
City
because,
limits.
everybody, Atlanta as the southeast destination city. Charlotte has more people, has just as big of an infrastructure in terms of traffic. We're just now catching up to those traffic levels, which, by the way, y'all, and I mentioned it before, it takes
and you know
me
what?
a fucking
Our
hour for a
MARTA sucks
30-minute
too.
drive
Yeah.
without traffic. And shit, when I worked behind the airport, it would take me an hour and a half for a 45-minute drive. What do you do when it takes an hour and a half to get to work? It's like you're driving from
Masturbate.
South Carolina. You might as well sit on the side of the road. Like, fuck. It is too...
What, are you saying this shit is
crazy.
whack?
It's whack as fuck. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, but I could get off on a tangent.
That's fine. We're good
we
with that.
we already did.
That's
but-
fine. Well, the thing too, like I was having this this explanation or conversation rather, and I was trying to explain to him. I was like, I know people. Which one do you want?
The light green one.
I was like,
Yes.
I know people.
Because we got to talk about this guy.
I know people are on welfare, but the
Yes.
thing is, I would rather live in a society where we help people who need it, knowing some people are going to take advantage of it. Because corporations like Amazon and GE, and they make hundreds of billions of dollars and don't pay taxes. What hurts worse, that or you guy who's scrambling in the dumpster for a peach pit who doesn't pay taxes?
You know what's crazy is that GE, for as big as it is also struggling.
Good.
At that size, it's struggling to maintain its form. But not to get too much into that. I don't advocate for a free ride anywhere because I busted my ass too. I'm 29 years old, but I've been
I
working
always
since I was 16.
loved that song.
That is a good song, but
Come on!
there should be whoever said it. I don't remember who quoted it, but we are as best as our lowest served, or our poorest, or something to those lines. Like a country is as
Strong
good
as
as
weakest link.
Yes,
Yeah.
something to that effect. I'm fucking that quote up. Y'all can find it. But if we're seeing people on street corners, and I've noticed lately, there's a lot more people on street corners. It's not something that is lessening; it is increasing, and that kind of degradation of living. Like, can you imagine living outside every night?
No.
What the fuck?
To quote the great Dana Gould, nothing will ever be as difficult as explaining camping to a homeless person.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm. I need to listen to more of Dana Gould.
I'm gonna have to check him out too now because that is
Start with
that's
clown.
apt.
Start with clown fucker.
Yeah.
His Smith's tribute.
Oh my god!
That's fucking true. I mean, well, they're throwing around this idea of universal basic income, and at first I was like, you're going to give somebody $2,000 a month.
Not even.
Just to live. Yeah. So say 1,000.
Like 1,000.
You're going to give $1,000 a month to every adult person at 18 years old.
Is that Andrew Yang?
Yes.
Is that his name?
Andrew Yang.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was on JRE.
Just so we're going to throw all these candidates out here while we're talking about this shit.
And at first, and of course, like I've grown hyper logical in my age now, so I'm super hyper logical. So at first, I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Well, let me listen to what he has to say. The amount of money we're spending on funding other countries' wars, we could give universal basic income and prevent homelessness. If people just had $1,000 a month to live on.
So, speaking to those that think that's bullshit, if you were to never see a homeless person walk up to your car in an intersection ever again,
yep,
and you wouldn't have to do anything for it, because what extra if that was coming from war costs?
Say a cent to the dollar for every dollar you make. You'll never have to see another one again.
Take it.
1 cent to every dollar you ever make.
Take it.
You'll never see another homeless person. You never see somebody struggling.
Because that's the thing. We're talking about the effects of homelessness and everything like that. Those people, and anyone that comes from a situation even remotely close, and we can expand to immigrants coming from really fucked up situations like, hey, my kid's going to be kidnapped by this gang to be inducted as a gang member at 13 years old. You know, just to take it there for a second, like if those people can send that kid to college and he can become a doctor, a lawyer, a business executive, like anything, that is far more serving our community than putting him under an El Paso bridge, for instance, because fuck, I'm sure everyone has seen this. There's, I don't know if it's thousands, I don't know the number, but there is essentially what happened with the Cuban Missile Crisis in Florida is happening in El Paso, Texas right now. So, and I mean, we're here on Cars, Bars, and Guitars talking about fucking immigration politics.
We kind of lean, we go every direction.
We can go. That's the thing. If we're gonna be serious, if we talk about things that actually matter to our lives, if we have an obligation of some variety to talk about shit that does matter every now and then. Every now and then. I might be that guy. I might be the guest to fucking throw that all on. I'll take it. Y'all could send me the hate comments. I'll take it. But
well, we're both on your side anyway. So
tight. I can imagine by episode 30.
We have a friend who listens named Charles who he leans more red and he was a Trump voter, but I still love the guy. But it's we're going to differ on a lot of values, but we don't call each other names about it.
Oh,
which is good.
Yeah,
which is good because the minute you call the minute the attacks become ad hominem, it's like, you know, okay, well, I'm not going to take anything seriously.
It's almost a rarity because, just to give you an example, I have had a best friend, not to give names, and I will not give names. That was a Trump supporter. You know, I completely disagreed with him. The problem was his girlfriend, will not be named either, went on my Facebook wall saying, I didn't see that you voted in the last election. She went on county voting records to look me up to see if I voted. So, all right. I was posting some crazy shit about Bernie at the time. It was 2016. I think a lot of people were, but her response was to like get into a almost stalker level. Like, I'm not afraid of this person, but shit, that is none of your business. Like, regardless, I could have voted or I could not have voted. I definitely voted, but you know, if you're coming on my shit, like,
was it Bladen County?
She spelled my name wrong. So
much like a lot of them do anyway.
M-A-K.
M-A-Q, man.
I just couldn't even fathom it. And that ruined a relationship that had been built over multiple years. I had a best friend in this guy, And because his girlfriend, I blocked her immediately after. I was like, you're being fucking crazy. Go figure. Like, yeah, if you're looking me up on county voting records, you're being fucking nuts.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not worried about you. I'm not scared of you in any variety, but also you're being fucking weird, and I can't have.
Live.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. No,
Old news.
Exactly.
What the fuck, Demi Moore? In disclosure,
that's the thing. It's a weird transition that we're all having to take, because I'm sure we all had friends a few years ago that we don't talk to now because of this exact reason. And that's the shittiest thing, because we had some of the best relationships with some people until politics became red team or blue team. Here's the problem. It's never supposed to be red team or blue team. It's supposed to be, we are
Purple team.
in essence a purple
Humans.
team. We need
We're humans.
Yes. Before any teams, before any colors. This isn't fucking football, y'all. This is how we're going to govern our society the best that we possibly can and not fuck it up.
Yeah, here's your problem. There's only two choices. When there's only two choices, there's not enough parity, because somebody, all right, so even if there was five, say there was five, there was all the way left, all the way right, and then kind of left, kind of right, and bam, right in the middle. You're going to see more people agreeing when there's only two choices. Now, I'm sorry, Gary fucking Johnson is a fucking acid trip, and anybody who votes for that guy has several brain cells missing.
I listened to him, but I didn't really pick up what he was putting down.
Doesn't it sound like kind of like a guy who thought he was abducted by aliens one time?
Yeah,
exactly. You,
Was he from New Mexico? Therefore, is he a New Mexican?
I mean, which one? There's four.
I'm gonna hit y'all with some ASMR shit. Right?
Get out.
Oh. By the way, check out how high Max. Check out how the
It looks like what ASMR does
peak,
to me.
Look, hey, check out the peak. It peaks out, and you've peaked out the limit.
Enjoy the peaks.
Oh yes,
but so this beer,
we know who the loudest motherfucker is at this table.
Yeah, no joke. Hold on,
I can fix that in post. I usually do.
To make you the loudest?
I brought
try
this
not
beer.
to do that.
To make me the loudest?
I try to do that. But you're louder than... Well, no, Mac's more consistent. Steve's more up and down. I'm the consistently loudest.
I'm consistent.
Mac's consistent, and Steve's a little more up and down.
My track's going to be me breathing.
So, I brought this beer, guys, because something was brought up to me in the last week that was very interesting and also really fucked up, but also, we can do something about it. This is the Highland Brewing Mandarina IPA.
Does it have the peel on it or off it?
It tastes like it has the peel on it. It's a fresh, zesty orange, and it is. Let me look at this label here. Real oranges and citrusy hops blossom in this stunningly bright IPA. And what is it? 5%.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah,
we
started out hard. 14%, was it?
Yeah, well, the episode with Sean and Brian, we started out with liquor.
Oh fuck! Well, where's that?
It's downstairs. I can go get it if you want.
Yesterday was my 3rd anniversary, y'all. To which I acquired a bottle of Suntory.
Ooh. I'm gonna go get us something real quick.
I got shit to do later,
tell them the story.
This is not the best time for that.
All right, well,
Later, guys.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna get that bottle of Virginia Highland Scotch whiskey.
Get back mo fast. I gotta pee.
I need a round of applause for that for our listeners, because that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
it was all courtesy of another car podcast out of Denver. I heard about that one where dude on it had friend that you gave that a lot of head.
This thing has so much head. It's all head, no substance. I fucked that up big time, but it was foamy, guy.
Yeah, maybe
just stick your thumb in it. That's all you have to do. If you stick your thumb in it for half a second,
drink the foam. How carbonated do you want to feel? How many belches on mic do you want to take?
I mean, if you guys want them, I'll give them. Yeah, fuck it. But the reason that I brought this IPA, and I kind of filled AJ and Steven on this, God, this thing is just going to get... Anyways, Asheville had essentially what is a water shortage / outage starting March 27th,
you said?
And lasted for like 8 days.
So it's over, or is it still going
It's
now?
over.
Okay.
They're in the residual effects right now. So essentially what happened is that there was a repair that happened on a water line that went bad, kind of fucked up the pressure on things and brought sediment into the system. What happened was, and what kind of fucked everything up, because, one water issue is not terrible. It can be fixed. Within the same week, a contractor hit a 24-inch line, busted that sucker. And this was also at if you can imagine, the crack of dawn, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. kind of repair. Between those two, it created a water shortage / outage in the majority, if not all, of Asheville. So not only residential areas, but all the businesses. So I bring up, Highland Brewing, just to give you guys an idea of what's up.
They're Mills River, though.
Yeah.
Did it affect that spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like anywhere close, anywhere on the municipal lines was affected.
Because that's barely in Buncombe County there.
Right. Yeah, anywhere close by.
Halfway between Asheville and Hendersonville.
Right.
Okay.
And again, sue me as far as I know, because I just don't know how far. Don't sue me, but maybe. He's back. But I'm explaining the Asheville water situation.
Oh yeah.
So
See, go Pete.
yeah. What if y'all can imagine? If you turn on your faucet, brown to black water comes out, like goopy, chunky water.
That's my favorite Meat Puppet song, Blackwater.
Yeah. That shit happened for 8 days, and people were boiling water just to be able to make sure it was safe to use. Not to jump on the city of Asheville's back, but they also didn't do a great job of reporting that, which they are going to be doing a better job of. They did a big press conference, which good for them. They need to own up to that. I appreciate that. They did a great job. But what that also leaves, because as you guys can imagine, listening to this podcast, I'm sure y'all are beer drinkers. Asheville is a brewery city.
Big time.
It's a big time brewery city. And it is right before summer. So y'all can imagine they're also making a whole bunch of beer right now. They're trying to, at least. So, when you got black and brown water running through your system, and to give you an idea, my parents live in Asheville. They were running their faucets for hours just to clear them. So you can imagine the filtration systems at the breweries, that what they had to go to. I'm sure they're changing out filters and then running that shit for days just to get it back to regular levels. Thank you for the...
Oh, yeah, no problem.
What is this? What have we got?
I'll explain it when
We'll
he gets
cover
back.
it after. But
Imagine the water bills.
So, shout out to my mom, which I'm not going to blow her up here because public spot. Y'all be cool. But she made the suggestion to all the powers that be that, hey, maybe you guys should level out water bills just because people are going to have to run their faucets. Like my parents at their house had to run their faucets for hours just to get it back to a clear setup.
Yeah.
So that is all of Asheville. That's not just residences, but businesses, breweries, anything that you can imagine uses water, which is everybody. Flushing the toilets, turning on the sinks, anything. So that shout out to her for a really good idea on that. That's going to save people. But call for action. On my side, buy some fucking Asheville beer while it's around.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of cost to lose. Within a week, we think about these beer. All right, New Belgium, right? Highland, Green Man, Sierra Nevada, right over the hill. What else? I can't even think of them.
Unfortunately, Wicked Weed.
Wicked Greed.
Burial.
Whatever we feel about
Burial.
those.
Yeah, Burial.
Burial.
What's the something street? or something Avenue Brewery. There's a fucking lot of them.
There's a lot of them, y'all. There is
And there's,
not even a handful, but multiple handfuls.
This one.
That was out of Raleigh.
What is that?
Oh, that's
out
Raleigh.
of Raleigh.
God damn it.
Yeah, that's the one we drank at the very beginning.
Fuck.
Yeah, that 14%
Asheville Brewing
liquid.
Company with
Yeah.
the pizza.
Yes. Oh man, the
Hey.
pizza is so dope.
Jeter's old
So
job.
listen, if
Yeah.
you're around Asheville, if you can give them some business, if you can help them out, if you're in the stores and you see Asheville beer, buy that shit.
That's what it's like. The other day I
Help
was on the
them
phone
out.
with my uncle that's in Nashville, and he made no mention of that because he had some weird email issue. Like, I have no idea what the hell's going on with this thing, so I don't know what answer to give you.
So the
Right.
moral of the story in the next couple of weeks, only drink the beers in Asheville that are bright in color because you can tell if they're contaminated. Don't get any
if
of
they
the
taste
stouts.
like dirt, so be it.
Don't get
Suck
any
it
of
up.
the stouts. I've poured us a little bit of something that is not worth the money that I paid for it, but it's good. Virginia Distilling Company's Sherry Cask Finished Virginia Highland Whiskey. It is Virginia Highland Whiskey mixed with Scotch, distilled from malt mash, and aged in sherry casks. It is a 92 proof. It was $68. It is good.
This is the best Prius since the CT200H,
Yes. And it is not as good.
the Lexus Matrix.
It's good. And I wouldn't give it to you if it wasn't good. It's not $68 good.
It's
It's
$34 good.
$38 maximum good. But I will say
I'll be the
it-
judge of that because Woodford Reserve is $20 on them.
Woodford Reserve is better than this.
Oh,
I keep thinking Woodford Reserve sounds more like a wine than a
it
whiskey.
does,
does.
doesn't it?
Well, but the thing too about this is I'm not a huge Scotch fan. I like my Glenlivet downstairs, or
Yeah.
Glenfiddich. It's Glenfiddich aged in bourbon barrels.
I like to go across the pond. I like my Irish better.
Well, Glenfiddich bourbon barrel is like 50-50, so it goes in your mouth like it goes scotch, 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 and then bam, sweetness of bourbon the rest of the way.
I
So
can dig
I
it.
really love that.
Is there peatiness in this
You
one?
get this. Be the judge of yourself. So
Call it what it
Cheers.
is. Dirt.
you have the
Asheville
talent.
water
I
for
still-
a fucking week.
I still haven't seen that Motley Crue doc.
You can taste the sherry.
That's actually not bad at all.
I like it.
That's good.
I just don't think it was worth $68.
Our love goes on.
I'm with you.
Goes on.
I want to see that Motley Crue documentary too. And also, I'm way behind. I need to see the Bohemian Rhapsody as well.
That's really good, and they should have called it the
Gums
Dude,
documentary.
behind your teeth.
Documentary.
Dude, once you see it, this is going to make a lot of sense.
It was good.
Because
Like,
he looks goofy as shit the whole damn movie.
You know,
they did put teeth implants in.
prosthetics. You know,
That and they totally fucked up the AIDS story.
They did. Well,
I don't know. Like, it's mad decent.
Yeah, don't let truth get in the way of a good story sometimes.
truth.
Fuck you, reality.
Don't we
Truth
do that
to
all-
that.
Isn't that what we're doing now?
Yeah,
Drink it
pretty
until
much.
it sounds better.
But, so, by the way, do you know why we've done 30 episodes of this now? Isn't this fucking a blast? It's
Yes.
just what we were normally going to do anyway.
This is
except
so much fun.
We're just like
I'm
audio
thoroughly
vi-
enjoying myself.
audio-vising it.
Yes.
By the way, it's 2 hours and 22 minutes. Did you have any idea it would go that fast?
No,
It's
I also need to pee though.
yeah, go for it.
That-
Steve and I kept this shit going for 27 episodes with no guests. So if you gotta go take your piss, you go take your piss.
So don't want to mess up my microphone.
That's easy to fix because it's on a swivel.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I've thought about this. This is the microphone
Smart.
stand I use when I play live, and then these are the other.
It's got a lot better without the table mounts.
The table mounts made everything like you'd hit the table, it would do it, but now it doesn't. It doesn't fucking matter.
I'll be right back.
Yes, absolutely. Mac will be right. Mac.
I keep shrugging the erector set and it's not getting bigger.
Oh, not the one
Right.
right behind you, but the other one over your left shoulder. The one with the toilet in it.
Not the one with the
bed.
CD player alarm. Yeah, it's like I actually left the CD alarm clock. It's like, dude, this room needs a clock.
Didn't you leave your shampoo in there too?
Oh yeah,
Okay, it's still. If you want to take that home with you, man, I don't use the
that's
shower.
kind of the point. It's like if ever I'm like long term cat sitting, this could come in handy.
All right, well, it'll be the day after Mother's Day till that Friday, and I think I'm gonna start spending music.
Huh?
The day after Mother's Day is when we're going to Chicago.
Oh.
and then
Get a key when you need to.
I'll be on punk duty. I think after that.
Kalen's uncle's in the area and usually does, but if we need to, let you know.
You can ring my bell. You know where to find me.
Here now.
It was bittersweet. I was fighting back the tears, but it's a perspective thing for me too, because you have to. I was explaining to Emily on our plane ride home. It's like that's why I do the things I do, and that's why I buy the things I buy, and like want to like be more spontaneous, because like one day I'm not going to be able to do that anymore, and while I'm able to do that, I'm going to do everything I can. Like it's going to an old folks home is fascinating and depressing, because like that place, all right, so it was Riderwood Retirement Home, where she ended up living the last 15 years of her life and then ended up passing away there. But they have bars, they have woodworking and clay, like there's sculpting classes you can take anytime you want to walk in. Like there's so much you can do there. And then at the same time I was like, this is depressing, because like you can do anything you want to do, but a lot of these folks are not able to do this anymore. Yeah. So like I want to
Or one of the running gags now is that old folks homes is the first Nintendo Wii proved incredibly popular because it would be a video gaming system to, simulate bowling. So it needs a controller. So apparently those spare controllers throughout the ages have become real popular at old folks homes.
Mm-hmm.
I currently have two. One I think still is going to become Kirkman's. The other one, I'm not planning on playing it.
No.
So, gotta donate it? Maybe. Could I eBay it? Sure, I could use the money.
I want to live.
It's worth something to somebody.
I want to live a long time. I don't want to be alive a long time. I want to live and be active and enjoy life.
Yes.
I don't want to just be alive till I'm 100. I'd rather live to 70 than be alive till 100.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to sit around somewhere for any portion of my life.
Over the weekend, I had a pretty nice
And I
little...
say that as a gamer of the highest echelon. So that is my life.
Active. Like,
but you're mentally active.
Absolutely. That's a mental... Like, beating those license tests was harder than singing the hardest song I know how to... Just because it's mentally taxing.
No, you don't. Do you have a Switch?
No.
When Tetris 99 came out...
Oh, Battle Royale version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a thing that put me over the edge to finally buy the damn thing, where you're playing against 99 other people. My best so far is...
fucking like Tetris.
My best is 5th place. I was like, like early on I got 10th, 9th, 6th, then 5th. Like, that's a hard-fought victory. If you have any idea how this works, folks, if you ever played the Game Boy Tetris, where... you get multiple lines and it sends it to the other player. It's that on crack with more people.
With
and
100 people.
Pick, to which group or to which player you're sending your trash to, and vice versa.
And
it gets intense in a hurry.
I watched a YouTube video with Funhouse, which is part of the Rooster Teeth TV Funhouse.
The Stooges album?
No. The gaming
hell yeah,
channel.
Iggy Pop. Anyway,
I guess the gaming company now, because they've got a whole bunch of different variants of channel that they've got. Cow Chop and Funhouse and a couple other things. Achievement Hunters. I can't remember all of
Just
them.
Just the good ones.
Yeah, Funhouse is a good one. And I watched one of the guys that is obsessed with Tetris playing. He was able to get first maybe one time. And dude was obsessed with Tetris. So I can't even imagine, like, me being a gamer for this long. I don't know when I would get first because I'd get my ass kicked. Like, Fortnite, any of the Battle Royale games, you realize very quickly how much better some people. Like, they're fucking nuts.
It's an obsession.
Ah, dude.
These are like the gamer versions of me, where when you start something, you have to be the absolute.
You have to be number one.
Yeah.
Which in this day and age, y'all, what it takes, like, for instance, shout out to the mobile game Pixel Starships. I'm playing that right now. It is the equivalent of Fallout Shelter.
I think this looks like Sim
spaceship.
Tower.
They built that city.
It looks a lot like that. Yes, it does. And
That was really fun until the roaches come to play. It's like, I don't like this
I'm
anymore.
in the top 1,000, and dude, I don't know how I'm going to get any closer because, man, if these people spend a lot of money on mobile games, so that's a whole nother thing because mobile gaming, you can win with your wallet, but you also have to be good. So you have to know the ins and outs of a fucking
They
mobile
like to call
game,
it freemium.
and then spend hundreds to thousands of dollars to be the best. Which
with that same money, I bought a lot of other
skeptical.
games I could be bad at too.
exactly.
It's a miles per gallon thing. You can always
Bingo.
buy a car that's faster.
Yep.
And there's like in music, there's always going to be a better singer.
There's always a better singer. There's always a faster car.
Yep, always a better guitar player. There's always somebody better.
Mm-hmm.
But like when we play a show, the number one compliment that I love receiving is that is the best show I've seen in years.
Yes.
Not that, man, you have the best pitch of baritone to alto soprano. I don't fucking care about that. Like I don't.
Who the fuck cares about that?
One of the
Except
guys,
for opera singers.
Baritenor.
there's a guy who came out to our show who's actually just came out to scope the place out at Port 64. He's playing there next Saturday. And he's like, you sound great. He's like, how do you get your voice to cooperate when the air's really dry outside? And I looked at him like,
A drink.
What? I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I just do it. Like,
Alternate waters and beers.
Fucking gun beers.
Same game as always.
I
What
had
you
5
want?
beers because somebody bought me 2, even
Yep.
though we get free beer. And I was like, we get free beer. You don't have to buy me beer. No, man, I want to buy you beer. I'm like,
Yeah.
if you want to buy us beer, man, go nuts. But
Sounds great.
yeah, so I was.
Tip jars right here.
Hey,
Yeah, absolutely.
Keeps you
He
coming
didn't have
back.
cash. He
'Cause
didn't have cash.
hey, they want to see some fucking cash at the bar too. So
Absolutely.
I get that too.
And I've had classical training now, but I still use what I've learned from that guy and what I've learned from me and what I've learned from lessons I've watched and reading and such. So do what feels right. If it's not hurting you, then it's the correct technique. And that's what I told her. I was like, look, if it's not hurting your voice and you're still able to talk after a show, whatever you're doing's right. If you're scratchy or it hurts, then stop doing it. So I'm like, it's not. I'm the last person to talk about vocal tech. After a show, I'm not hurting any. I haven't. That's when I first started out. But like, there's no pain. There's no scratchiness. I'm not hoarse. I can talk the next day. Whatever I'm doing must be correct.
Did
So-
you? Sorry, I was making sure. Did you get all that? Okay. Yeah, we're passing around that fucking Mandarina IPA.
That's good.
so,
I'm
yeah.
not going to feel very good
It
tomorrow
is
when I have to
good.
go back to work.
Same, but that happens.
Well, you
That's
don't
why
have to
carb loaded before coming in here tonight.
Well, you don't have to drive 2 hours and a half to go to a show tomorrow night after you work 8 hours.
Hair of the dog, but
Well, that song might be
Oh.
too old for your catalog. Maybe you should have learned that one.
Maybe.
Little Nazareth for you.
Yeah.
It's like,
Holy
never mind.
shit.
That song sounds so much different than Love Hurts that I swore for longest was Guns N' Roses.
Oh,
Ugh.
are you talking about the Incubus Love Hurts? Or are you talking about the?
No, the Nazareth Love Hurts.
Yeah.
Love Hurts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were two very different persons.
This song's lyrics, I'll sing them to you never.
That's fucking awesome.
By the way, that's what that looks like when Steve sings it. Right there. There's the waveform.
Still kind of flat.
After 2 hours,
Just like a karaoke, y'all.
Yeah,
What up?
Yeah,
I
That
can
said, I do
auto
wanna do
tune that
that.
and make it sound boss.
please do.
Fuck you, Exxon.
I would love to hear that. Actually, that is my request that we fucking auto tune.
Auto tune the whole episode.
There you go. I had a bit of a freak out over the weekend.
That's the thing. When I was recording my album, I was like, I can make it sound in tune, but I want to get it like, you know how many vocal takes I want to get it right the first time because I want to do it old school. Like although pretty much before 2000, there like a lot of this audio stuff. This wasn't really a thing. You had to record the tape, so everything you heard was real. It had to be recorded. You could do pitch up by 5-6 cents here and there, but like it had to be almost perfect at the source, and that's why talent now can be manufactured.
It sure can.
Talent should be a
I think there is
song name.
There is a certain situation where auto-tune is acceptable.
Absolutely.
The news.
People talk shit about auto-tune like crazy, and I can understand the reasoning behind that too.
T-Pain.
You know what? In T-Pain's songs, it was justified because he's not a singer, but he fucking made some dope songs because he was able to auto-tune.
If the song calls for it, that's one thing. But if you're using auto-tune to fix a shitty performance, that's where I draw the... T-Pain's using it as it's a stylistic choice. Because really, like, with T-Pain's style of music, what I've listened to, it's more beat-driven.
Right.
And how it... the head bobbing.
Right.
They don't give a fuck what he's saying or how he's saying it. It's a stylistic choice. Whereas
if you're a vocalist,
if you call yourself a singer or a vocalist, you need to be able. If somebody says you were sharp there, sing it again and sing it correctly. You need to be able to do that.
Yeah,
like that's personally
bar
my
none.
opinion.
That's it. Like if you're a vocalist, you need to be able to hit those notes every single time.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, there's room for error in everything, but consistently, if you're going to sing in a range, you need to be able to hit that range with your whatever given talent, and not a fucking computer program, because that's what happened with. I'm trying to remember Saturday Night Live lip sync incident. Who was it?
Milli Vanilli.
No,
it was the sister of the other singer. I know who
Jessica Simpson's sister.
Nicole.
It wasn't Jessica
or Solange
it wasn't
Beyonce.
Jessica Simpson. It was. I promise you, it wasn't Jessica.
We gotta look that. I thought it was
Ashley
Jessica
Simpson. Was it Ashley
yeah,
Simpson?
I thought
it was somebody else. God, it was Ashley Simpson.
The fuck?
Yeah.
It started. You remember she started doing jumping jacks in the middle of this shit.
She just walked off.
Yeah, and not to shit on Ashley Simpson, whatever. If you're
ahead
you're
and
listening,
shit
hey,
on I want you to defecate on Ashley Simpson.
But no, like if you are the person that made that song, you should be able to sing that song. Like that's. I feel like there's some. I mean, in terms of artistic ownership of a piece of music like that, you should be able to put that thing out there if you need to.
There was an episode of. Did you listen to the James Hetfield on Joe Rogan?
Like a year ago?
Yeah.
It
was fantastic. So he has 2 or 3 kids. They actually live in Vail, Colorado now. Mm-hmm. So they moved from from California, and he was like, I took my kids to a rock concert because I was like, they don't want to watch their dad play music, because even though he's the singer of Metallica, they don't want to watch their dad play.
Right.
So it was like they watched a real like rock concert, and they were like, he said his son nudged him, was like, they just fucked up the music. Like it's like, that's so cool. They're not they're playing their instruments, and like, of course that's like, it's a part of a live performance. It's not supposed to. Now, it's supposed to sound close to the album version, but there's supposed to be nuance. Like I fuck up every episode. Like that's why I'm trying to like. When we first started out, Toby would get mad at himself for messing up. I was like, dude, mess up. It's a fucking live performance. You're not going to get everything perfect. My voice will crack at some really fucking high notes that I'm like really have to try to hit sometimes. And it's okay.
And that's the thing. Shout out to my dad, because he's one that wants to hear the music at a live concert as exactly as it appears on the album. Like, so when we went to see John Mayer, I've seen John Mayer 5 times.
Did you see Trio, or did you see the John Mayer Trio where he played his blues stuff, or where he played the hits?
Both.
Oh, he played both.
Dude, his blues is rad.
I've seen him enough that I've seen both.
Just want to barf.
You know, and that's the thing. He fucking hit his niche real early and rode that sucker until he hit his blues
he's gotta
stuff.
He's got to finance his good music
success.
somehow.
I could do whatever I want to now.
He has a signature guitar with Paul Reed Smith guitars now.
Who's the guy?
Really
Dude,
pretty.
I love John Mayer was on that
Oh God,
Jeff Ross podcast.
I know.
What the fuck? It's like, I'm kind of curious because he was a lot of fun on I Love the 90s.
Well,
I'm trying to remember who he played with.
Paul Reed Smith made him pretty much a Strat copy, except it had the birds on the neck and a different headstock. So it has the birds and everything that I'm about to buy a new electric guitar, and Emily's going to be furious at me, but I don't. Yeah, it's fine.
Cool. Then she could buy her own guitar with her music money.
Ooh. Apply ice to burned area.
I'm trying to remember. David Ryan Harris. You know what? I'm going to look this up.
You say three names. I'm thinking, which serial killer is this?
Sean Michael Preston.
David.
Steve Lawrence Nix.
It
Double
is
celebrity.
David Ryan Harris. All right.
Wow.
So to give you guys an example, I saw John Mayer one time at Verizon Wireless Amphitheater. It's that in Charlotte.
$5,000, though. I'm not buying that one.
David Ryan Harris was playing with them.
That's $5,000 though. I'm not gonna buy that.
No, but it's gorgeous.
I buy 3 Jeep
It's
Cherokees.
like a
It's like a bluer version
it's like
of that one.
fish scale.
That would
It's like
settle.
blue to green fish scale.
Yeah, that would settle.
Yeah, it would. But
Look
I
behind
watched.
you.
Yeah,
It's that in blue.
I can get it. Yeah, definitely. I watched John Mayer and David Ryan Harris do an acoustic set. It was just the two of them, no drums, no nothing. It was just an acoustic set.
Oh, cool.
But in the middle of the set, they reached over and started playing each other's necks.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That shit is so fucking awesome.
Yep.
And you know, there's nothing to describe it because they were able to bust out some really insane shit for reaching over. Because if you can imagine, like, Steve's fucking choking himself right now. But,
That's
I'm playing my own neck because I can't reach yours.
we have time for autoerotic asphyxiation.
I mean, you know, we got time for anything.
That sounds excessive.
Ooh.
Any of that stuff. I mean, any of the shows that I've been to with John Mayer have been super impressive.
Mhm.
It's never been, oh, let's just play the hits and enjoy that. It's been, I'm going to play some new shit every single time, and then he'll go on a 5-minute solo that will blow your fucking mind. So, you know, ASMR, bro. Get it.
Mayer has the greatest guitar faces
Yeah.
ever.
It's O faces.
if you just Google, I got to drive somewhere
Fucking
and get something to eat.
ASMR this shit.
We haven't been here in what feels like a fucking week. When you get up, that's other ASMR. Like
You're
shaving
doing
a hairy
exactly
man's-
what I was dodging a moment ago.
shaving a hairy man's back. Listening to my cat lick its asshole for an hour, which I could probably, if I could reach it, I would probably do.
What?
Bop it.
I mean, you know, self-rim jobs. Right.
Solo rim job. Allegedly, if you look up a girl eating herself out online, you will find the video. Allegedly, if you look it up, you will find it. Allegedly. If you have Wi-Fi at work, now would be the time to test the blocking points of it. Oh, he's choking on his truffle choke.
Why is it called red tube, not pink tube?
Yeah, definitely.
You're not
on
beating
work
it up hard
Wi-Fi.
enough, I guess.
You got to do it on work Wi-Fi, or it doesn't count. So
I don't think I can because I can only access anything .gov or.
oh yuck!
I know. Yeah.
That's no fun internet.
Or the company intranet. Yeah, exactly.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Which I have to go back to. I work tomorrow. I'm off Saturday. I work Sunday, Monday, off Tuesday. But I make the schedule. I'm overstaffed, and the employees I have need the hours, and I have a lot of vacation time.
Tight.
I
Gotta
get-
use it.
I get 6 weeks a year that I get more in
May.
first week of May. So I have another 40 to go. So I've been working 4-day weeks.
So how much do you have left?
After I cashed out some this week for the funeral. After this week, I have 38 hours to go in 4 weeks.
Fucking take the week off.
I
What are
work-
we doing?
I work 4 days a week, and then I've been working 4
Short
days a
weeks
week.
Pretty nice though.
Yeah.
That's how I rounded out last year.
Yeah,
yeah.
they don't like me to cash out all of it at once. Because like my gross on one of my
Deal
checks
with
last year, because I
that.
forgot to cash it out, was like $3,700. But taxes got a lot of that,
Yeah, they do.
and so did
But you know what? Taxes
this
don't
shit.
get
what?
taxes don't get your days off.
Well, that's true.
If you're fucking able to sit at home all day, can't tax that
All,
shit, baby.
if I sit here all day, I either mess around recording or play Gran Turismo to 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not really a contributor to society at that
there's
point.
Nothing wrong with that because you're contributing every other day.
because
Sometimes
it's
you
an
need to
off
contribute to
day.
yourself.
That's how this
you know?
works.
You just gotta fuck around. You know,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Well, you know what? I
Is that
figured.
the House of Pain song? Fuck around. Fuck
I think
around.
it was jump
Fuck
around,
up,
but
fuck up, and get
close
down.
enough.
Fuck
Pack it
around.
in, let me begin. I came to win. Battle me. That's a sin. I might do an open mic stand up pretty soon.
Tight.
But that's one more fucking thing I want to like. That and doing the podcast and doing music and then working. Like I have too much shit going on, but it keeps my mind occupied and it keeps me happy. Like
It's
I
your
said-
hobbies. Not to downgrade it because it is something that you are interested in outside of working.
Mhm.
Which shit, man? There, that whole classification of our lives has been completely taken over. We're fucking using the best times of the day at work, and then
Should we go to
using
France? Should we go to France's model? The 33-hour work week?
Qua.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
Could
I
I
know
do-
I'd bust some shit
What
out in
would-
33 hours if I knew I wasn't working 40.
What would your perfect so my perfect schedule? I would work. I'd work Tuesday through Friday. I would have off Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yeah,
That'd be
Mondays
perfect.
suck. And not from the stereotypical, oh, somebody's got a case on the Mondays. Like, everybody comes back from the weekend like, oh, weekend is over.
Uh huh.
So, God damn it, I got to be in this serious mood. Like it's Monday. I got to get everything done.
Mhm.
I would rather skip all that. Like, I'll come in Tuesday once you calm down from that fucking tantrum that you had of a Monday. And yeah, it's work, but it's also you're manic for some reason or another.
It's just another manic Tuesday. Whoa.
Yeah.
She is so fucking hot still. Susanna Hoffs from the Bengals.
Googling.
Susanna Hoffs. She's in her 50s and she's still in her 30s visually. And I would wear her ass cheeks like a hockey mask every
Yikes.
fucking night. But I don't think everybody should be on that schedule. Isn't she still great?
Yeah, she's. Yeah.
All right, so I
she's
feel like
pretty
some
great.
people should. So you should get a choice. Like, some people would rather work Friday through Monday and have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off. So you get a choice depending on your career.
Or, and that's the thing.
Post office has got to be open.
The only trouble with that is that some business models work in different days. Than others
True.
do. So,
Well, as a grocery store employee, like a lot of stores are doing the Instacart thing where you just order your shit online and just drop it off.
drop it in. Yeah.
100 years from now, there's not going to be big box grocery stores. There will be health stores where you want to go in and pick like for me, when I go to a store, I want to pick my own stuff out. Like if I need a green bell pepper and I know I'm going to be the one cutting it out, like I want to know which one, because there are male and female green peppers. Did you know that?
No.
Yep.
No, I didn't.
Yep.
Dude, I smashed the two together. They did not grow me more.
They called him Bruce Jenner.
Yikes.
So I think
That one gets weirder.
I think the
Yeah.
3 is the female.
Off-air moment.
I think 3's female, and then any more the green bell pepper. So the stem is at the top, the bottom. If the bottom has 3, it's female. If it has more, it's a male.
How about that shit?
One is better for slicing and using fresh, raw, and salad wraps and stuff. The others are better for baking. Isn't that crazy?
See, I wouldn't know that, but my girlfriend is a pastry chef and or fucking kitchen aficionado,
Right.
and she would know that shit.
Absolutely.
So I can imagine that model being relevant to her. Like, showing up, being able to pick your own produce.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, or if you
I
if you
would
love,
not give a shit.
If you
for
love
instance.
the crunch of onion and you don't like the flavor of an onion, you use bok choy. Bok choy has the same crunch as an onion does and no flavor.
Huh. I would imagine if I'm
It
getting
does
something
if been
for an
drowned in
onion,
soy
it's gotta
sauce
have
and
the
olive
onion.
oil.
It's a flavor sponge is what they call
Yeah.
it. Whatever
Yeah.
it is. Yep.
Yeah.
But that's me working with vegetables for like a long fucking time now.
Fucking teaches you some shit, you know?
That it does.
You know, go figure. You stay in an industry for a long time. You learn things about that industry.
Almost 17 years.
I've been in human resource management for 3 days, and I feel like I'm standing in front of I've got my face to a fire hose, and I'm trying to drink all the water out of it. So if you can imagine that, like, I'm sure, you know, over
It's a funny visual.
decades.
That's a great visual, actually. It's really turning me on.
It
actually.
is, yeah, it is, and I can't.
He is
take
wearing
credit
a white
for that.
shirt.
My trainer. Oh yeah, won a white T-shirt contest. You know, but
Ooh.
I can't take credit for that. But
Brent-
that's my trainer. But
Brendan was on TV. Did you see that?
I saw that it was on.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch
I've been
it. It was
busy.
like, neat. It's like, cool. He's on TV talking about his work.
I can't do that.
Cool. What should you get on Switch lately? That's what I want to talk to you about.
Switches get stitches. This has been a lot of fun.
yes,
But I think just shy of 3 hours, I think we might call it. So, yeah. I want Mac to listen to my new song.
enjoy it.
Do you want the listeners to listen to your new song?
Hey, it's not going to be the
All
same.
3 or 13 of them.
I kind of want to be a surprise to the 3 or 13 of them.
All right.
Well, it will very shortly be soon available on YouTube and Spotify. It was supposed to be the last couple of episodes, but it hasn't. But it will be YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, everything you get your podcasts or entertainment on. Or you can go to libsyn.com or CBGPod.libsyn.com. And Libsyn is LIBSYN. Liberated Syndication. CBGPod.libsyn.com. So Mac graciously filled in today. He was going to be
Thank you for having me.
guest on episode 31. Now he's on episode 30, and that's absolutely great with us. Mac, thanks for coming out. And for Mac, I am AJ.
I'm still Steve, and I would do anything for love, but I can't go for that. Are those the same song? Maybe. And I might be freaking out that Bob moved away.
Aw.
If anybody needs a house in Highland Creek, let us know in a hurry, because that house is going to move quick once it's ready.
I want
Truth.
meatloaf now. I want meatloaf to eat, not
Listen to?
to listen to.
That's just bad out of helly.
All right. Well, I'm
Anyway,
I'm getting meatloaf now.
that song reference was Kay's joke.
All right. Bye-bye, Kay. And
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, listeners. I'm AJ.
I've been Steve.
Later.
I'm Mac.
I'm a PC.
Oh, no. Oh, we did that joke.
Sixtals.